na kuyalelo devyo bayeti amitapendwa ya vintu ifisume vyotwa bula kwibukisha kana depotimo wimbo watemenwa katongi abazunga batita katongi nakula kwibukisha kateka kaibukubuna kapona neseko syove pamenso yangwa maume baya iyaba maume iyaba maume
kateka wabantu twakulira lelo twakulira shikakukonke milimo shove Deti kume mo pula dolole avale lilo wingi
Ise kwa wingi mwakwete Ise so wingi mwakwete Mwaya mwende wino tata wesu
Katusi muchi wakege Wali bomba kale Lomba mwatu jatule lilake Ukula bevyo wachito mwingi Imisebo wapangiri obuingi Ukuchinjo lusako kumoneko busaka Mama Kutituwa na basiani Chagwa katuse
13 batali beso so ndalanga bamwe bagwetedwa anu kuti bagandijenge mugati mulya ndambo mwajeya balombwana mwajeya ndaunka kuli ba independent ndaunka kuli ba MMD sorry ba PF ndayabu mapata amwe ndakuleta 42 ndakubagwera ndikalombwana nimeji amuterere ndabagwera ndamba nimeji minya ndimubwene maneno mwebo nomutaya ndibamaga into kuti baye mu parliament. Me, I love the women to go to parliament. Therefore, Bill 7 was necessary so that we can bring 20 women in parliament. That is how we show our love. That is how we show our love to our women. Kambo na tupangamila oya bamatumbu tabago mu parliament. You know tiba ambirire mu parliament ngoni. Who is going to speak for the women? That is why we brought Bill 7 to bring women. Our love for them, our care for them. We delivered Bill 7, 2026, Nova Matumbu, muya kushagaira bo ya mu parliament. Muya kushagaira bo. Kamuterera, we show our love for women. We bring them on the table. Ndime first president, wa ule taba maga into, ibata hotelwa, ubanjia mu parliament bali 20. Amukambile Nova maga into. That is how we show our love and care for you. Now, twamba uti mutumbule ndani amwana. Mutumbule ndani
amwana.
Twamba uti bama youth. Jiraba agataya kunjira mu parliament. Ku campaign kuyandika mali. Abalo bama youth twamba uti 2026 olokunyina youth utika wine mu constituency pesi 15 bama youth bali kuli mu parliament. Amukambire ndewalombo. Maombo na mwabo mwana wabandika wao. Au mulangi hoyo. Ndaye yakaboti ndikalomba na mu parliament hoyo.
Commander Kui.
Zambia. That is how we show our love for the youth. Banjire mu parliament abalo bama youth mulao milao yabana yabama youth bagali bandikire beni. Hena talima nayo. Hena talulilu ya ndolo. Hena tairikeyo. We deliver for the youth. Mumu higuli mulema. Mumigwa higuli balema. In our families, there are lame people, differently abled. But manu baligwete, imbo? Come 2026, with the passage of Bill 7 now into law, the differently abled will go into parliament with or without winning an election. That is how we show love for the differently abled. That's how we care for them. We deliver for them. You can see the pattern I'm talking about. We care for those bala mali unapsa. Kulindira mane bimwagu hatabo ni mali to partial withdraw. That's our love for them. Bamwibaga weza mali bayaga manda, bamwiba ula ngombe, bamwiba ula tu taxi tu yango, sunubala tu limunkomo. That's how we show the love and care for them. Mula tobera musaloy. Are you following? Is it difficult? Hena jiragata kuterera musaloy. Very simple. That is why you elected us into office. We love each other. Mwebo, you elected us because you love us, isn't it? We work for you because we love you, we care for you. We deliver. Very simple. Ingandamba tuambo tunji, but this is the story of today. Mwaterera gai? Milimo minji njotu waberega. Igolo ilayagwa. Mei tulabika. My bohos, we are putting bohos. We are putting solar. Now, we are saying, all these things we've done, delivered, is anchored on love and care for each other. Number 4, we know that there's still work to be done. Tembo mbubo, tuagali kubambulula jihi, we were correcting the errors, debt restructuring, the damage in the mines, law and order. Twali wambululaji. Mwalunga mujoma mwakwela basi weyagulusaga intercity. Useruga buyombo userugira ate basi ya wakujoma ate. Vimenye nivi. Bachoka kuchoma hivi. Vimenye nivi. Ati tundumwezi. Singombe wakaba penya. Bantu bali kumu ati tundumwezi. Ati mbaba hota maningi kuhotela agaende. Hamuba ome intercity. Sunu yagaba yamwe yagakuba mola liendela mbomu yanda intercity kunyina umuguma wa muguma ndamwanga banyina bene wabalyawe. Zambia. So many things. Although we've done, there are many more things to be done. Tujiyagu mbere kubereka. Not waktarigo, not waganka kuberego, no. We've just started working now. We've just started. There's a lot more work to be done. Nyambose ulia, Kujasef, he needs more schools, more classrooms, more desks, more teachers. Work to be done. Mungandu ulia, he needs more bohos in Chama South. Kabusweoyu, he needs more infrastructure in Chililabombwe. Singombe, road wagwe, uamugalomo, wainda mudundumwezi. Uyagulubwe, ma bridge agaunka. We still need to work on those bridges. Are we together? There's a lot of work to be done. Yes, electricity, my light. ndakamwambira kuti kamumpa chindi kandi bana Zambia mwankagale kuwamba chinthu chomwe mbuluti muli balowe malaiti ndambaka kanu basayima twaterera kambo jiyumayuma chichaka tola Mei magesa wa mu Mei tembo mbo electricity. But I also, to show you our love, I have been apologizing. Batali beso. So ndalanga bamwe bagwetedwa anu kuti bagandijenge mugati mulya. Ndambo mwaje abarombwana. Mwajeya. Ndaunka kuliba independent, ndaunka kuliba MMD, sorry ba PF, ndayabu mapata amwe, ndakuleta 42. Ndakubagwera ndikalombwana. Nimeji amuterere. Ndabagwera ndamba nimeji minya ndimubwene manenu mwebo. Nomutayandi bamaga into. Kuti bayemu parliament. Me, I love the women to go to parliament.
Do we have volume now? I think we have volume now. Thank you very much for all those that were very alert. I didn't have volume, but I have volume now. Thank you very much for being alert, and thank you for quickly calling me and alerting me that I didn't have volume. Thank you very much. Do we have volume? Yeah, I think you can comment in the broadcast. Please share the broadcast. Share on your pages. Share on our people. I'm sorry I didn't have volume. I didn't switch it on in the parameters. But today is 7th January 2026. Let me just formally begin the program once again. I think we have volume now. Let me just check. Do we have volume now? I think we do have volume now, just to be sure. Let me just check, just to be sure. But I think it's showing. I have volume now. I didn't have volume, but I think I have volume. Thank you very much. Yeah, you can confirm I have volume. Are you? Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I think the volume is back. I'm sorry I didn't switch it on. 7th January 2026, we had planned that we'd start the program in a certain fashion, but were rudely interrupted with matters regarding the Archbishop of Lusaka. Remember, President Hakainde Hichilema has always sought to have the Archbishop of Lusaka removed. He made persuasions with the Apostolic Nuncio that the Archbishop of Lusaka should be removed. He accused him of treason. He accused him of being in possession of stolen property. He accused him of being promoting an agenda of the opposition. He has sought to remove the Archbishop. This matter of the Archbishop is not gone. I would like to thank the Zambia Conference of Catholic Bishops who stood by their Archbishop of Lusaka, because they've seen through the machinations, they've seen through the plans by government, that this was not a matter of the rule of law, that this was not a matter because the Archbishop should be above the law. The Archbishop is not above the law. And the Catholic has demonstrated over decades and centuries that their cardinals, bishops are not above the law. Of course, they are subjected to their own canon law, but in the event that they infringe on laws or they come in conflict with laws in the countries where they operate, they are subjected to that law. But the Zambia Conference of Catholic Bishops I've seen through the machinations the last 4 years, there's been a coordinated attempt to remove the Archbishop of Lusaka, and they issued that strong statement on the eve of his appearance at the Drug Enforcement Commission. They clearly put it. This is an harassment. This is a harassment of a dissenting view. Whatever allegations have been put against the Archbishop is because it's a strong dissenting views. We'll be discussing that matter. The president has been out of action. He's been on holiday as expected. There were those strong rumors of his illness, and today he stepped out and had a rally as advertised yesterday by the UPND that the president will convene a rally, and they had districts that gathered from Chikankata, Chirundu, Choma, Gwembe, Itejteji, Kalomo, Kazungula, Livingstone, Mazabuka, Monze, Namwala, Pemba, Siavonga, Snazongwe, Zimba, and many people that traveled from Lusaka and other places. There were also the rogue MPs that you know that have been working with the UPND were also available at that conference. From the video I played, I was concerned with the remarks by the president, where he says, buses from a southern province, when they arrive at intercity, the people coming from southern province were harassed. Others were called Dundumwezi and all. Of course, the president has a habit of going tribal, of trying to characterize that there has been a war against the people of southern province, when there has never been such a, with the intermarriages that have gone through. The Kadarism, political violence, is of course not accepted. In fact, the Patriotic Front was punished for his Kadarism. President Hakainde Hichilema is also going to be punished for his Kadarism. But this tribal talk, where he just drops, tribal bombs, trying to characterize the people, that they've been marginalized, they've been isolated, and like he's their savior because he's stronger. I think he falls short of being a national leader. The president, we've always said, must keep away from these feelings that is either discriminated against because of where he comes from, or that his people have been marginalized the last 64 years. And in our country, no one wants to discuss the issue of tribe. No one. Dr. Kaunda did such tremendous work. Dr. Kaunda did so much tremendous work to unite us as a country. I was just looking at our monitor just to ensure that we're live and that you can hear us. Dr. Kaunda made the issue of uniting our country, the 73 tribes, into a one Zambia, one nation. He didn't want people to feel excluded. He promoted the one Zambia, one nation. In fact, he even made policies. If in public service, if the number one was from one province, the number two be from another province. Of course, he pushed merit too, but he insisted on that. New civil servants, where they're being recruited as nurses, doctors, teachers, were taken to places where they were not born. That is why you can find Felix Mutati and the Mutatis speak fluent Kaonde, Lunda and Luvale. Why? Because their father, as a teacher, was deployed. You know, you see our dear sister, Madam Katongo. Her father, Pardon Katongo, as a young man, is just being recruited in the civil service, was sent to Mongo. Dr. Kaunda was very deliberate in ensuring that young people, like even married people, not from their stock, but from wherever they were met. So it was a deliberate policy. If I am a southerner, I was not allowed to serve in southern province. I would serve in eastern province, in northwestern. If I'm Bemba, I would serve in Barose or in northwestern province. It was a deliberate policy to unite the country. If you've read Lee Kuan Yew, the founder, president of Singapore, he did a similar approach to unite the country because he was facing similar issues of Malay, Chinese, Indians, and the what are they called? Those, those from the oceanic islands form Singapore. So it was a multi-ethnic nation. So how does he foster development when ethnicity and race is standing in the way? He did deliberate policy, like what Dr. Kaunda did. I think it is in that light that, having supported Hichilema in 2006, 2008, and 2011, Dr. Kaunda came to the conclusion that President Hakainde Hichilema was not suitable for our country. I don't know what traits he saw in him. I don't know what talk he saw in him. I don't know what disposition he saw in President Hakainde Hichilema. But it became very clear that Dr. Kaunda feared that if President Hakainde Hichilema will be president, he would divide our country. Here we are, where all top echelons of our country are run by a few people from a certain region, which is an insult to the founders of our country. In 1953, when Hari Mwanga Nkumbula won that election and beat Mbiko Stalewanika in that election in 1953, because remember the political party ANC was founded by others, including Mbiko Stalewanika. Remember who the first Secretary General of the ANC when Nkumbula won in 1953. It was Kenneth David Kaunda from Chinsali. Our leaders knew how to unite the country from the beginning. And even at the founding of our country, look how diverse and how multi-ethnic the leadership was. Of course, because of the politics later, when there was a fallout between Kaunda and Kapwepwe, there was this harassment of this group because they accused Simon Mwansaka Kapwepwe of driving like a Bemba party or a Bemba rebellion. And there was, when he formed UPP, there were a lot of harassment, and people from that stock were locked up for a long time. And, people that follow UPP when it was formed in 1970, the harassment, it went throughout under Dr. Kaunda. But you can see from the heart of it that every Zambian began to feel part of the country. If development didn't come to their area, they knew Luapula and Western Province, Barose, are the poorest provinces in the country for many years, for decades. Now, in fact, now Muchinga has taken over. It's the least developed province in our country. Western Province is now number 3. Southern Province, on the other hand, has actually received more benefits over the last 6 years. It has more districts. And remember, our budget funds districts. It doesn't fund the people. It funds districts. And Southern Province has one of the largest numbers of districts. But our president doesn't seem to understand that he has this in his mind, that our people are marginalized. Our people have been left out of government. There was an article recently done by my dear brother Macpherson Chanda, former Zampos managing director, where he demonstrated this issue of inclusion and exclusion. Just look for that article in his part. No one loves to discuss tribalism, but it's always introduced by the president. He's meeting civil society groupings. He says, you are fighting my proposal for this constitution because of where I was born. Akatek, how does that come up? We are telling you that you are not following the law. We are telling you that there's no legal framework for this Bill 7. Mr. President, we are telling you that you have not appointed a credible commission. How does your tribe come in? How does it even come in? The opposition is on the structure and the legality of your process. And many people, when they look at the President Hakainde, they don't see a Tonga president. They see a Republican president. So I don't know why he's quick to go to those tribal default settings. So there are the remarks by the president, totally unfortunate, about Dundumwezi. Can I find them?
Therefore, Bill 7 was necessary so that we can bring 20 women in parliament. That is how we show our love. That is how we show intercity kunyina wamuguma ndamwanga banyina bene wabalyawe. Zambia. So many things. Although we have done, there are many more things to be done. Tujiyagumbere kubereka. Not what tarigo, not what Useluga buyombo oselugira ate basi ya wakujoma ate. Vimenye nivi. Batoka kuchoma ite. Vimenye nivi. Ati Dundumwezi. Singombe wakaba penya. Bantu bari kumu ati Dundumwezi. Ati mbaba hota maningi kuhotela againde. Hamuba ome winter city. Sunu yagaba ya mwe yagaguba mwala liendela mbomu yanda intercity kunyina umuguma.
You can understand how the president exploits tribe. He links his presidency to his tribe so that there are feelings of the people of Southern Province that they have their own in State House. Now, if Northwesterners begin to feel like that, if Westerners begin to feel like that, if Easterners, Northerners begin to feel like that, will we have a Zambia? Because what will happen is we'll be balkanized. Easterners will vote for an Easterner. Northerners will vote for a Northerner. Westerners will vote for a West. We'll be balkanized. President Hakainde Hichilema became president because he had a large support from across the country. Look at the votes he got from Eastern Province, up to 40%. This is an area where Edgar Lungu came from. But the people of Eastern Province gave him in excess of 40%. Look at the votes he got from Northern Muchinga and Luapula Province. Look at the votes he got from Lusaka and Copperbelt, essentially areas that were deemed to be patriotic front. The people of Zambia voted for a president who they felt was a president for all. But the president's mental disposition is that he was marginalized. The people of Southern Province were marginalized. You know, if you look at the key people that have held offices, even of prime minister, vice presidents, most of them come from all these areas. It's a very serious matter. Why we should discuss it, although the president doesn't want to discuss it and has even criminalized it. But yet he's the first one to bring it up. He's dividing us on religious grounds, on ethnic tribes, on tribal lines. And now, just on class, he favors foreign nationals and foreign companies to own our process. And then he gets this shareholding. There's a matter I posted and a lot of people didn't pay attention. Let me the matter I posted, which is being celebrated across Africa. There is a Tanzanian national. He's a Lebanese he's a Tanzanian of Lebanese, I think, origin. Rostam Aziz. Rostam Aziz has announced that he's going to invest $500 million in, I think, a solar power plant or some energy program in Zambia. But who is his partner in Zambia? Kanona and Padmo Mlea, who's chairman of also Delta Marimba. Delta Marimba and Padmo Mlea signed, an MOU and an agreement with Rostam Aziz, 500 million to come to this project. That is what we condemn the president for. Opportunities he wants to give himself or his business associates. These opportunities. So when we condemn the president on the issue of the constitution, we condemn his selfish approach, either to enrich himself or his business associate or his God. When we condemn him on the issue of the constitution, is because of lack of legality. When the Conference of Catholic Bishops raise objection to these attacks on the Archbishop of Lusaka, it's not that they are standing in your way for the rule of law. I saw Charles Milupi at a rally saying he himself and Dr. Msokotwane were going to the police for the last 3 years and the courts. He was, of course, telling a lie. When Munia Zulu alleged that Honorable Charles Milupi and Dr. Stumbeko Msokotwane had gotten a bribe over the Lusaka and Ndola Joe carriageway, they didn't sue Munia Zulu. They reported him to the police. They used a state institution to ensure that Munia Zulu was jailed. They used state institution and their leverage as ministers. They didn't even bother. The minister was lying. They didn't even bother to come to court and face Munia Zulu, who he was accusing. They just brought a policeman to testify that he had gotten statements from the minister and the two ministers. He's such a coward that he couldn't come to court and challenge Munia Zulu. Munia Zulu was even wrongly convicted. And in the first place, remember what we are saying. If I have defamed you, take me to a civil court. Don't use a police. Criminal defamation, the United Nations Human Rights Commission Special Rapporteur informed the president, Mr. President, drop this criminal defamation. Of course, he announced that, no, they had dropped criminal defamation of the president. But the other criminal defamation remains, both in the penal code and the now new ones that has been introduced on cyber crimes and cyber security. Remember, more people have been convicted on issues of speech offenses than they've ever been convicted in the last 60 years. There have been more people that have been convicted under President Hakainde Hichilema. So coming back to this issue of tribe, the disposition of the president is extremely dangerous, where he wants to patronize the people of Southern Province, give them a feeling that they were marginalized, that they were beaten, that they were humiliated because of where they come from. You are dividing the country. You are terrible. And then you express it. Oh, key embassies, you put people from one region. Oh, key, the entire security, the securiculture, the security cluster. All the top people, you get them from one region. You give state-owned enterprises, again, to people from one region. So you just don't voice these tribal remarks. You express them through your work. In fact, Sean Tembo sued you, Mr. President. He said your appointments were a breach of the Republican Constitution because we are not following what is provided for in the Republican Constitution, where you are supposed to use your powers as president to unite the country through your appointment, through your expression, and through your public policy. You are supposed to unite the country, and you are not. Of course, the Constitutional Court dismissed that court. So here, the purported $500 million from this Tanzanian, which is in international newspapers. But if you look at the heart of it, is you see President Hakainde Hichilema or his business associates. Let me briefly touch the issue that we started. There's been development today. The young man who bought the vehicle from ZRA, the vehicle that was gifted to the Archbishop, has spoken, and I want to speak to that. But someone has sent me this cartoon before I open. Yeah, that's a goodness with this software. When you send me something on WhatsApp, I can quickly download it and just check it, the president kept on saying, love me. Do you love me? I love you. I do this because I love you, So already it's a meme that is already running, and the president is crying for love. Love he can't give the people of Zambia. Love that we've shown that is dividing the country in his appointments, in his expression. He's dividing the country in the manner he's doing our country. Yet he was talking about love. How we would want love, all of us. So thank you, whoever has made that cartoon. You sent it to me, and I thought that I could share with our people. Yeah, let's discuss the matter of the Archbishop of Lusaka, the update that has happened. Then we take your phone lines.
Pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen. The Lord is with you. Blessed are you among women. Blessed is the fruit of
Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen.
Full of grace, the Lord is with you. Blessed are you among women.
We have a crisis in this country. Zambia ukusabika kuli eklesia ni 1 to 1000 kama mwipa kama mpikisho mwengo wa kulekelesha ulefira pa icho na temo wako ferekeni nanda mchibemba ino na manta walipe icho na temo wako fie watu wewe na pastor kwa tolu kuta alina watu babili mchezele sikakuli bashiko icho na temo wako fie.
Drug Enforcement Commission, through its Anti-Money Laundering Investigations Unit, AMLU, has formally warned and cautioned His Grace, the Archbishop of the Archdiocese of Lusaka, Dr. Alik Banda. This follows ongoing investigations into alleged unlawful possession of a Toyota Hilux motor vehicle registration number ALF 7734, being property of the Zambia Revenue Authority, ZRA. Particulars of the matter are that Dr. Banda, on dates unknown but between 22nd April 2021 and 27th December 2023, did have in his possession a motor vehicle Toyota Hilux with registration number ALF 7734, property which is reasonably suspected to have been unlawfully obtained from ZRA, contrary to Section 319A of the Penal Code, Cap 87 of the laws of the Republic of Zambia. The public may wish to note that when granted an opportunity to explain how he assumed possession of the said motor vehicle, Dr. Alik Banda chose to remain silent. The Commission will update the nation regarding the outcome of the investigations at an appropriate time.
So the young man that has, the gentleman that has, that bought the vehicle, was receipted and collected the vehicle, has issued a statement where he's saying he's denying any process in it, and he's given an interview with News Diggers. Just be aware that we know what's happening. The young man was transferred from Lusaka and to Ndola, and he's been given a job. He's Mulopwe Kaunda. We know what is happening, so we can't be fooled. Whatever he says, we understand he needs a job, and I will not say much. A lot of people were saying, no, he says he will sue you for 20 million. Well, he issued that threat in September 2025, and I encouraged him to sue me because I knew I was on Terra Firma, the vehicle that was bought. There was an auction. And the vehicle was bought. It wasn't bought by Archbishop Alik Banda. Archbishop Banda didn't pay for it. The vehicle was gifted to Archbishop Alik Banda. So we know what is happening, and I will not say much, but what I can tell you is that we know what is happening, and the young man needs to keep his job. So he says, no, I've seen the people rehashing an old story that was done in September when his lawyers wrote to me. I told them, send it to me. I was in the country at the time in September 2025. Send it to me. And I will not apologize because I know what I'm talking about. So an auction took place. And let's just emphasize the facts. The vehicle has not been declared a stolen item anywhere. Kingsley Chanda and his director were being prosecuted for other matters, procedure. They are saying he didn't follow procedure in disposal of assets. And the vehicles, remember, were 60. They've singled out the 22. ZRA was disposing of seized or obsolete vehicles. They were 60. And there was an auction that took place, and there were donations. So they've taken the 22. But lucky enough, the issue of the Archbishop's vehicle is among those that were part of an auction process. I saw, one of a keen follower on my page called Teddy. He says, no. The auction was nullified by the jailing of Kingsley Chanda. Come on. That's another matter. So Kingsley Chanda was in court for abuse of office. This vehicle has not been established that it is stolen for it to be declared proceeds of crime. But as usual, they are climbing the tree from the leaves. They should get someone who stole that vehicle, convict that person. Then it becomes proceeds of crime. It can be declared proceeds of crime now. Who says the vehicle was stolen? Who has proven that the vehicle was stolen? Until we see, for example, the details and documents are for this young man, this gentleman, Mulopwe Kaunda, let them prosecute him. Or whoever stole the vehicle, if he didn't, let them bring him as a witness. Let them demonstrate that the vehicle is stolen. But it has not been established that the vehicle is stolen. But in your mind, you declare it that it is proceeds of crime. First, demonstrate that it is stolen. I gave you an example of the vehicle that was found with Mr. Sata in 2001 when Levi Mwanawasa became president. It was so jittery, 2002. And detained Mr. Sata for 22 days. The vehicle was in Mr. Sata's name, everything. But it belongs to the intelligence. And the intelligence chief said, no, these are our vehicles. Don't worry how we register them. The intelligence has properties registered in companies, registered companies, but the properties belong to the intelligence. That's why they are intelligence. They cover their ground. So Mr. Sata was acquitted, although details demonstrated that the vehicle was in his name because they wanted to allege that the vehicle, Mr. Sata had stolen a government vehicle. But the intelligence came and said, look, it doesn't matter how our properties are registered. And that is how it is. When CIA, FBI are conducting work, they will use companies. They will use means and ways to get to you. They can even hire private jets listed, but it's their private jet. So in the case of Mr. Sata, it's similar. But on the issue of the vehicle for the Archbishop, no one has been proven that they've stolen that vehicle. Someone needs to prove in court that the vehicle was stolen for it to be a proceed of crime. At this stage, no one, and I put it very clear, no one has established that the vehicle is stolen. The case of Kingsley Chanda and his director is a matter of procedure because someone is alleging that Kingsley Chanda, in disposing of these assets, did not follow procedure of disposal of assets. That's what they are alleging, and they've convicted him. So can now we establish that the vehicles were stolen? Can someone prove that the vehicle was stolen before you can allege that it is now a proceed of crime? Tetumkwelele chimuti, kumabula. I was reprimanding my dear brother today, former ZAMSA director, Nyasulu, who's crying that they haven't prosecuted him yet over 61 trucks. I said, Banyasulu, Ububuteko, the courts are not independent. You'll be jailed even if you are innocent. I know the feeling where you've been accused and your integrity is on the line. And in normal circumstances, we submit ourselves to the law for the law to clear you. And in Zambia, is the law clearing you? No, it is not. It is not. One of the cases I can give you is Amos Chanda's case when he was acquitted. Look at the judgment and the reprimand against the magistrate. They are not following the law at all. They are punishing political opponents. So why would you subject the Archbishop? Why would you willingly surrender him, thinking that he will be cleared through the due process of the law, when President Hakainde Hichilema has set up a machinery to punish political opponents? You walk into it, you are doomed. They won't even give you bail pending appeal. So we need to publicly condemn these processes. My last word, someone issued a very sensational remark. No, Emmanuel Mwamba Verified were in the plot to harm the president. This president will be voted out based on the hunger he has caused on our people, the load shedding. He doesn't need to be removed illegally. He will be removed properly within the law. And because our people will have seen that is not suitable for our country. He has divided our country. He subjected our country to the worst cost of living. He has enriched himself as demonstrated. He has submitted our resources to foreign interest. He has not been a good leader. That's why our people vote him out. No one needs to harm the president. These illusions that someone wants to harm the president should come off them. If we demand how and where the president is, it doesn't mean that we don't love him. No, he's head of state, and I'll use his own words. Here, our brother was asking people to pray for him, and today he was calling us hyenas. Our dear brother, we don't want to call him names. He can be called so many names in the manner he looks, in the manner he talks, and his conduct and character. We can call him so many names, but we choose to stick by the issues. We don't want to be sidetracked. So today he was calling me a hyena at the presidential rally. Waleta the entire southern province to come and call Emmanuel a hyena. We want to wakwalesa. Takwetefia kubeba abantu who remain unpaid, who are supposed to have fertilizer in their field. You disrupt their farming season just to come and call Emmanuel Mwamba a hyena. Oh.
That's why we must pray to God to keep HH alive for country, and that all those who are planning evil against him will not succeed. And as government, we are watching them every single day, their maneuvers.
The last question. Former State House is not telling us the truth. They must come clean on Mr. Starter's illness. I think something like that. That's what you say. Foreman, I don't want to say much on this. All I want to advise those who advise Mr. Sata is that if the president is not well, please tell the nation so that the nation can pray for him. Yes. Don't hide. If Hakainde is unwell, please, my friends here, tell the nation that Hakainde is not well. The nation will pray for us. I don't know why there's a thick cloud around this issue. To be sick is normal. It is God's way. So that's all I can advise the people that handle Mr. Sati. There's so much speculation that from London is just to hide. He's actually going to India. That's the speculation, that is going to India for medical treatment. If that's the case, tell all of us, and we wish him a quick recovery. Last time I said in a press briefing inside here that I pray to God of Abraham, God of Jacob, God of Isaac, to keep Mr. Sati.
We are putting boreholes. We are putting solar. Now we are saying all these things we've done, delivered, is anchored on love and care for each other. Number 4, we know that there's still work to be done. We were correcting the errors, debt restructuring, the damage in the mines, law and order. Mwalunga mujoma mwakwera basi weyakulusaga intercity guseruka buyombo oserukira ate basi awakujoma ate vimenye nivi batoka kuchoma vimenye nivi ati tundu mwezi singombe wakabape abantu bali kumwe ati tundu mwezi ati mbaba hota maningi kuhotela akaende amubaombe ku intercity sunu yakaba yamwe yakaku. We are putting on tembo mbubo. We were correcting the errors, debt restructuring, the damage in the mines, law and order. Mwalunga mujoma mwakwera basi weyakulusaga intercity guseruka buyombo oserukira ate basi awakujoma ate vimenye nivi batoka kuchoma vimenye nivi ati tundu mwezi singombe wakabape abantu bali kumwe ati tundu mwezi.
May he so rest in peace. We don't appreciate a lot of things he did to move us downhill into a positive trajectory. 1996, the MMD and the FDJ amended the constitution in the election year. There was no problem, no street fights. Same organizations didn't go in the streets. By Kalafia Tondolo, and the constitution is being amended. No street fights. 2016, under PF, the constitution was amended. Right? Election year. In January, the election was in August. They amended the constitution. No one went in the streets. We were aggrieved as UPND. And I told my members, no one goes in the streets. Let's vote in parliament. We voted and lost in parliament. I never allowed our members to go in the streets. UPND, this man they don't like, for whatever reason. Right? You know, this level of hatred is shocking. Right? You can see that there's venom here. You can even touch it. There's venom here. We go to amend the constitution using the same law, using the same constitution, which was applied, clauses which were used before. It says, no, we don't want. The timing is wrong. But what about those other timings when it was amended? What was right? Why didn't you go in the streets? Ask yourselves a question. So you want to start conflict over nothing. Fellow citizens, let us act godly. After all, we are a Christian nation. Let us act in a godly manner. Let us not overexpose our hatred of others for crimes
some of us did not commit. I know. I've come a long way myself. I know the feelings of a certain section of the people. I didn't choose where to be born. Neither did you. None of us should serve a sentence for a crime they did not commit. In 2021, one priest issued a statement. Chawamanga twachita election. Kuchila kuti abawambita tulefaya bakateke. Encouraging the government then to rig the election so that UPND and this president does not come into office. It's there. And this thing starts all over again. This is not fair. This is not correct.
Okay, guys, we were warming up, starting the year fresh. I was stating that our program was rudely interrupted when we saw on New Year's Eve a call-out issued to the Archbishop of Lusaka that he should present himself to the DEC because the DEC was investigating a matter regarding a vehicle from Zambia Revenue Authority. What they didn't tell you is that DEC had been investigating this matter since 2022. And when the matter came up and they were questioning the Archbishop over this donation, he surrendered it. The matter has been there from 2022. But why did DEC choose New Year's Eve to do that announcement and then pick on the Archbishop of Lusaka? It's very clear. The background is clearly well known. And we have played various videos between the president, the Archbishop, is that there is political difference. The president has not even punished anyone who has been insulting the Archbishop. In fact, the president has run a negative, slanderous campaign against the Archbishop of Lusaka through his rogue newspapers, because we run by his own media team from State House. He's been relentless on scandalizing the Archbishop, demeaning him, making false allegations against him. Then officially we know that he has made representation where he wanted the Archbishop removed from his position as Archbishop of Lusaka. Ngatwali tuma church tuntemba, wakatolika te tuntemba, ngatwali tuma church tumbi, you know, ngabadi wafumishepo. Remember what happened, the sad case of Dr. Webster Chave, president of the SDA on the Copper Belt. He delivered an honest, sound, biblical sermon and was punished. He did it with courage in front of the president. The president felt humiliated, and the following week we saw the Archbishop, the pastor president of SDA on the Copper Belt. He removed, so-called resigned, but we understand just as the president left and went to the vestry, the church office, he complained and challenged the man of God, accusing him of being partisan or loving PF and being irresponsible with his statement. Who challenges a man who's delivered the biblical sermon from the pulpit? Who challenges him? But our colleagues, like the Minister of Works and the Minister of Infrastructure and Housing today in Mongu, where he was saying the opposition is hiding, under the wings of sacred institutions like the church, and the church is promoting divisions against Ichilema. They think that people are, when they speak the truth, then you are abusing the pulpit. And Charles Milupi demonstrated those views today. So lucky enough, Wakatolika te Kantemba, Ngakari Kantemba, Archbishop of Lusaka would not be there. They would have removed him. The Secretary General, Batuke Imenda, said the Archbishop of Lusaka was the Lucifer of Zambia. The president has refused to punish Batuke Imenda. He refused to publicly apologize or reprimand Batuke Imenda. In fact, he celebrates it because nothing was done. And when there was an attempt for private prosecution for those dangerous remarks against the Archbishop, the DPP discontinued the matter. The DPP dropped the matter. You can see the DPP, who's insulated by the Constitution, who was supposed to be independent, is just another cadre from State House, and especially the history that was a lawyer for the president, you can see his partisan interest emerge, abandoning his constitutional responsibilities. Because if Batuka Imenda was innocent, why stop the prosecution? You yourself didn't have the courage to prosecute him. Citizens took it upon themselves to say the remarks by Batuka Imenda so dangerous, let's subject him to the same laws that other people who are offending cyber laws and our laws in the country are being subjected to. The DPP, who was a coward, who couldn't prosecute Batuka Imenda, chose to discontinue a matter started by other people, abused his powers as DPP to discontinue a genuine matter of public interest where an innocent man was being injured by those dangerous remarks. So there's been a plot to have the Archbishop of Lusaka removed. And they think that they have found a perfect case. And to the leadership of the Catholic Church, don't think they've gone don't think that this matter will be dropped. They are proceeding from the information we've gotten. They think that they can proceed to an arrest, a quick arrest, and they think that they will have one witness. You've seen the witness already, he's speaking. This is a main witness. All the documents are in his name. So if you hear how the witness is speaking, you know where the matter is. They want to get a quick conviction against the Archbishop so that they can then arm twist the Vatican and the Catholic Church to remove Archbishop Alec Banda. The lines are open. You can make your contributions. Just a minute.
The last question. Fuma, State House is not telling us the truth. They must come clean on Mr. Sata's illness. I think something like that. That's what you say.
Yes.
You know, Fuma, I don't want to say much on this. All I want to advise those who advise Mr. Sata is that if the president is not well, please tell the nation so that the nation can pray for him. Yes. Don't hide. If Yagainde is unwell, please, my friends here, tell the nation that Yagainde is not well. The nation will pray for us. I don't know why there's a thick cloud around this issue. To be sick is normal. It is God's way. So that's all I can advise the people that handle Mr. Sat. There's so much speculation that from London is just to hide. He's actually going to India. That's the speculation, that he's going to India for medical treatment. If that's the case, tell all of us and we wish him a quick recovery. Last time I said in a press briefing inside here that I pray to God of Abraham, God of...
I think we have a first caller. We have a caller. You can call. The lines are now open. The lines are now open. You can call. Let's begin the conversations. The lines are now open. You can call. Thank you very much. Let's begin the conversation. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
My name is Daniel, calling you from Cape Town.
Daniel from Cape Town. Make your contributions, my brother.
Good evening, Mr. Mwamba.
Good evening.
Mr. Mwamba, my contribution today is about party with PF and what is happening in PF and just the whole current situation in politics. You see, coming from where PF started with President Michael Sata, the late, it shows that he had a vision of where he wanted to be, and regardless of the time, him not being popular as coming out from MMD, he had a vision of where he wanted to be, to say, I want to lead Zambia. Then through campaign and everything, he managed to lead Zambia, and we saw President Sata doing whatever he could to convince people. If he had to drive in a bus station, he did. If he had to follow the the funeral for Levi Patrick Mwanawasa, the late, and being chased away, I don't know what province was. I can't remember very well. It happened, he did all that until we managed. But the PF I see today, I've followed you, Mr. Mwamba, from the time you were ambassador in South Africa. I think for 3 years I met you when you did the mining in Dava. I met you personally, though I didn't speak to you, but I would see you all the time that you came. It's 3 years, if I'm not mistaken, 2 years. I worked in the hotel that I would visibly see you. I've followed you since then. I know that your knowledge in politics, starting from being personal assistant to the late President Frederick Chiluba, you've in politics you've done your CV, and where you are now, I think professionally you stand somewhere in politics. You analyze politics very well, and we have in PF Honorable Given Nurinda. I think for me, what he has done for Kabwata is something that a person would see. I remember the time, I don't remember very well if it's GBM who wanted to stand in Kabwata, and Honorable Nurinda had said, whoever wants to stand in Kabwata, I wouldn't campaign in Kabwata. I would rather go somewhere else and campaign. He was so confident that no one would beat him in Kabwata. We have the vocal Kamwili. I don't think verbally anyone can defeat Kamwili in campaigning, Honorable Kamwili. Then others that I wouldn't mention that are in the PF. Now, all these people, they've got a role to play in the PF now. But the only hiccup that, in my opinion, that I see, it's people not knowing their position and not being patriotic to the party. Maybe it's because someone else started it, and no one feels the pain that the late president felt of starting that party. So I don't see the zeal that they want to defeat the UPND, who we can all see that they are fading, and to defeat them is something that is very easy. We have this spokesman, I don't know what his name is, who says, no, we are not paying farmers because of high electricity tariffs and what. When the vice president said, no, we have electricity because the Kafue River is full. They make mistakes that are visible, and it's not hard to convince people over that. We have the president who's in public saying, showing tribal remarks to the nation is not even ashamed. Even the persecution for Bishop Banda, which is visible that they want to, they have a certain agenda. But I'm crying over the PF.
Thank you. I'll bring a topic. Yeah, I'll bring a topic on the issue of PF. I'm reluctant to discuss myself because I'm part of the top leadership. But it has become such a national issue that I'll carefully come and bring a program. Let's see, maybe on Friday or Monday, because it needs to be discussed.
Yes.
Thank you, my dear brother. A lot of people want the PF discussed. Let's see what happens. Hello, callers. Let's tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Thank you, Ambassador Mwamba. This is Nyangwe Dani. How are you doing, Ambassador Mwamba?
Very well, my dear brother. Kutalala fena kwambo kutalalo ku ya. Ifo twaberera ku Zambia.
Ngamwambo okulanda okutalala then kuno kuti mwawutuka.
I'm telling you.
Tubamuma negative.
My God, how na kutalala.
I'm quiet. I won't take much of your time. I've got two issues which I need to just add on to what you are saying. Number one, Wakateka balelanda pali love and hatred. Love and hatred. Wakateka, if you are so much consumed with you saying abantu bali mpata and there's so much hatred. I think you can show us your love by today saying, let us bury our president, Edgar Changwa Lungu. Because the love that you keep on referring to, but you don't do it, that's hypocrisy, our president. Mwali katilile chitumbi chaba Edgar Changwa Lungu, who was a president of Zambia, loved by Zambians, whether people hated him or didn't like him, he was a president of Zambia. So imwe bakateka nga mwayapa bantu mlefu wa showing your love. Start with issuing a statement to say nasamba mo shikeni ba Edgar Changwa Lungu. Second, ba presidents besu iyi omwa kwatanga mwaya ku Southern Province olo mwalangisha like abantu ama Zambians don't love people of Southern Province olo twale woma ku Lusaka. But President, can you stop that narrative? Zambia is based on one Zambia, one nation. 2 months ago, Chabota explained who you are, President. Especially press kumwenu. And he's been talking about these things for almost 5 years. We are tired of your lies, trying to divide Zambians. But President, you are the president of Zambia. My third point is, you can't say I've showed love to the women of Zambia by enacting Bill 7. That is not love for the women. You should have showed love to these women you're saying I love them by making sure they have good jobs, making sure that they can afford to buy things at a good prices. Today we have the dollar going down, but the prices are skyrocketing. And then you are going to tell Zambians that, oh, now we have Bill 7, I love my Zambian women. Stop those things, my President. I will not talk about the PF because Namlanda topic imbi, but thank you, Mwamba. God bless you.
Thank you, Mwebena Canada. Thank you very much. Okay, we are taking your calls. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Hello, Mwamba. Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Kapandula. I'm calling you from Zambia, Kitwe.
Yes, Mr. Kapandula.
First of all, I would like to just ask you if the example you were giving with regards to the way Dr. Webster Chavez resigned is suggesting that you are then saying SDA Kantemba, because before that you said Vakatoli Kantemba.
Oh yeah, let me clarify, my brother. That's a very important question. I don't want to be misunderstood. Where the president exerts influence, we've seen actions like that. And I know that the president has exerted influence on the SDM. You have seen the donations he has made. You have seen, for example, when he went to Rusango University, where they even carried placards of the president. You can see that the president is exerting influence on a church that was non-political and literally was very strong on these political issues.
Okay, but you will also be interested to know that the donations that the president makes are not just specific and peculiar to the SDA church. Other denominations have equally received donations in his capacity as head of state.
Correct.
So unless
Correct.
you say unless you tell me that every other donation that the president gives is a way to exert pressure and influence the decisions of that particular church.
Did you ever, my brother, just a question, since I think you are amenable to question, did you ever see the SDA carry placards at their conferences, whether it was women's or men's conference or youth conference? Did you ever see them carry the placard of Edgar Lungu, Mike Osata, Rupia Banda, Levi Mwanawasa, Frederick Chiluba Okaunda? Did you ever see the SDA carry placards of the president?
To answer that question in honesty, I can't remember any of such an occurrence.
Did you condemn what happened in Rusango University at the women's conference, where our women doctors were carrying the pictures of the president?
Yes, I did not find that okay, because it's not right that everywhere where the president goes to speak, regardless of what function it is, I don't think it's right for it to turn out to be a political event. For the fact
Thank
that
you.
he is
Thank you. Now go ahead and make your views. Thank you. Now go ahead and make your views, my brother.
Okay. So now my calling is very specific to the issue of His Grace Archbishop Dr. Alec Banda. And I would want us to have a bit of an engagement with yourself. And the first question I want to ask is, do you agree, like myself, that the Archbishop is also able to be found in an act that doesn't follow procedure, knowingly or otherwise?
The Catholic Church has been very clear. They submit if any of their either priests, bishops or archbishops, even cardinals have committed offense, they've been subjected to the rule of law. It's not an issue the Catholic hide. They would rather suffer embarrassment. They would rather suffer embarrassment than shield someone who has committed an offense.
Okay, so the question I was asking was not really on the policies and standards of the Catholic Church. The question I was asking was bordering on the fact that even in his capacity as His Grace, the Archbishop of Lusaka, with so much respect I say this, but even in his capacity, he is a human being that is able to make a mistake or do a wrong act. Correct.
That's why they were marching, saying, "Forgive us if we have committed any. Forgive us if we have sinned." That's how they were marching. No one is infallible. No one is infallible. But the point is, my dear brother, before you go, my dear brother, the Zambia conference. Okay, thank you. Let me proceed to answer him quickly. The Conference of Catholic Bishops, if you see that the men that comprises that conference, these are very educated men, mostly at PhD master's level. They know what the rule of law is. They know the difference between persecution and prosecution. They've seen through Ichilema's machinations. They are aware, probably more than you and I are aware, of the attacks that have been coordinated against the Archbishop of Lusaka. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling from.
Good evening, Ambassador. Nivamunkonge.
Emkwaiva Munkonge.
Amaria china afurarumuna wansoka Ambassador tinchwile nako kola. Ambassador ine chiramba pesa kuri bakateka. Ambassador ngamwalolecha batwabwerera kunuma. Kwali bayo batira KMP kitwe main bus station. Abantu baleza kuyo makuru apura nensabi. Cyo bare bachitapali ana mashina bonze bali cyo kwe batyo. Abena mburo abena ngongo abeku. Bati chiruboro ashire teke charo kuma kube kuru apura kuroko ababe. Tatarire emira pona ngono nde chirugo kwambo kurando kwe bati. Babruru bandinga bare tesabi. Mwale be batabena mburo abena ngombo yari ashiramu station y'amako boys bitobare sta 3 abena rwapura bakempi ushetwa yaku national no kwera kwe bationi parana pena pasito pa intercity kwali bana kurakari kurusaka kwali bamumbwa barete nkumba firafine gistafire piribulati nishi na patrula kucharo aho, which is not good. Olo ambassador ababa kateka inyofo na mona ngachako bati na ifwe tatwambiro kuraiva abantu besuma province yambi chikabe chashupa because bene liriashi yakapaturura kare bahamba ilio bali ku opposition tiba pere mfumu kurwa profe barefo atapali nangu barungu basara ndokwe bati nisho wacha mukuchitakura kumfumu nisho waperera ile mfumu ngato wasaro lesha ma structures ya Mozambique mwarasanga tiba UPNG nabakwata ma chairman kurwa kula nabakwata ma chairman ku Eastern Province no kuirandira bati mule yakulya ku Southern Province kare twambo kumona nangu feruling party opo yakale nokuma bale uma bazitwale pepa fyata waba nensuna bena tukabaranga ukweba chonso omuntu mwina Zambia tatusendera ma politics mukapaturula nangu mivotere ya Southern province ba ambassador natwachitu konke serious tapale ama elections ayenga pita nangu ba president chaba techibabepo kulwa kura mwali umfapo achopa polling station batamsha ba police batamsha na bonse bamba fyo kulafika pali barungu nangu ku state nangu pali bachiruba nangu pali ba mwana wasa but kurama records zoko yali ero ine nde umfafyo uranda kuba nenso abaku North Western province ba North Western muiru fyafye imwe mwa mkopa belt mule konka mfano ya kopa belt mwaendera pamona ba kopa belt mwana ni mwe efyo mu chitamu support afye but finsho fo ba michitirapo mumone language lyonse ko ya mukulanda fya language yambi uko bafumo kwe vutature paturura turerande birandire yabo eryo tu ambassador babantu pakubarango kwebati bonse turi bena Zambia nochi okulanda na ifuka tufundi abantu besu bakachitefera fine bachita tukamonenga chakwebati pakobati pakamoni okwebati kanshi Zambia te province yao tukabevero parastro kwisa bebo kwebati bakasambirire po chimo kwebati kanshi Zambia yabantu bonse firofyo bachita bonse abantu no bakese chinda bakachitefera fine ko bachita pakobati pakamoni bantu fine tuweba tatabomfwa ambassador nga twarolesha 45,000 na 100 45,000 na 95 tafiranga balancing nomba chitu abafunda shani oroni ishibya bakateka state babafunde ukubeba cha umwe bantu bandi icharo chabaso bonse turi bena Zambia bonse ni finevi nomba bare bura ya blindness bare babika famenso bare babika famenso oro ambassador chintu chimbi muchironganino chesu mubwere opu ya Zambia ni PF ayambia ama programs ba ambassador amuya puture iseni mukoma elesa na mumfu abantu fe barara ndakwa murando wa PF iyi attack ya bena Zambia doreshe ni fya chitire pali ba bishop bai mabwangu bwanga chakwe bachikwaje murekeresho kana ima ngakwali ponene disaster ese muna PF uktatui mabwangu turareka uburwere bure ingira na babene bachabinga ngakwali banoko bashitaso tawo chakare nombo murando wakwe bati umurere bachabinga techo bachimfya abazambia yonse nangu ba PF wonse baima trefu apatensu bachabinga kuti bachimfya nani nomba bonse balitarara bamundubire bapitire kwiya kururamba baba makepi bapitire akumurundu kwatina murubana fe please mwe bantu bakwalesa werereni pamo uko mure pitano ko ni kuchirini wereni pamo ngamwa ikara mukati mwaranda amashuwa yashipa na kubantu bakayapokerera
Thank you Baba. Thank you. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Chungura po mkwaiba Emmanuel Mwamba wesu.
Endita mwabombeni.
Intuntu kiro ya manu muzambio tukwete kurusa anomu ture pusukila.
Mkwai no bantu wakwales.
Podcast wa maka.
Mkwai.
Pa Emmanuel Mwamba na chikwata kwa fintu fibili ifya kwa tinsupa wirepo fast muri chino chunguro chesu. Chikatu wa chatuike irepo pano. Na chikala ande tambaka picture kamo aka Rwanda kuba president wesu wa aga inde ichirema bakopwera pamasikazi y'abantu ba genocide ku Rwanda. Ilo na chikala ande monakala ka picture na samuna na mashui bachiranda lero bachitafe emphasize lyonse tuse abantu abakuchoma nga bayisa kuno kurusaka bale boma ati fya kuchome fyo ingombe cha kutundu mwezi. Na tonto nkanyanje bile bishaba president ulabaire ku Rwanda ninchi basambirirepo because abantu abakuchoma tapari waboma pa ku intercity there is no record anywhere ba president barafwaya kula chita divide chalo kula using ignorance yabantu no kula using a position yabo. It is very unfortunate for a man who went to Rwanda. I've been to Rwanda myself, Mwamba, and I've been to the same museum. It's a museum of silence. You would not even speak about tribalism if you've been there. I don't know what goes in this man's mind. It's a very shameful words that our president has been keep using to divide this country based on tribes. We love people from Choma. That's why Wamaiko Satababa idea wa miasona sana Choma kuchira kumpiko kubafuma. If you see why Choma is developed and Mpika, you can see that our president was Satababa napari wa misana Choma kuchira na Mpika. That is the kind of leadership that we want. The second thing that I want to emphasize on Mwamba na chitemo sana meeting na chimona ile ya chitika ma president besu. And the only thing that I can call Papa President besu. Mwamba basambirishe ni humility mu akwata no mutimo wewe ni wakuba sincere. Umuntu wonso oli popular background na ishibikwa. Lekeni bamusupport fyo umuntu then tuambe no kwenda. Chapwa, that's the way to go. Mwamba turenture pepere chalo chesu tube united. Napari fimbifu ndo form fwa sana kuchiro kumala chalo chesu chaba united nde mieba. Abantu tubafunyepo turete omuntu ingesa bike charo pamo. Ifo batonga to ali batemwa sana, abena mwanga to ali batemwa, abakushipata to ali batemwa. But abantu abatusabe disappoint, bantu bakumye suku, abakukasa mubere mukushita ne ndarama. Ngabafika fe bapere ndarama bamba nokurashitisha. Nefira chitaura sister wesu sibongire. Sibongire nchita ikafika sister wandi. Ukiingira mmensha atadi.
Thank you very much, my dear brother. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Mr. Mwamba, I was speaking with Moses and I'm calling from within Lusaka.
Moses, make your contributions.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mwamba. Let me first start by indicating that I admire the time that you have given the last caller. It's quite admirable. And you were the one that has been talking about democracy. You are the one that has been talking about the rule of law. And basically, democracy, the basic definition is allowing those that have divergent views to express themselves. Mr. Mwamba, it's hard for me to express myself on your program. It's quite hard because before I finish my statement, you would have cut me. So I'll not even try to talk about what is happening with Dr. Alik Banda because I don't want you to cut me. For me, I've been trying to participate in your program, but at no time.
My brother, we never cut anyone. We never.
No, Mr. Mwamba, can you allow me to finish, please?
Yes, we please, never, because now
I know you're going to cut me.
No, I won't cut you. I will allow you to speak. But I don't want you to tell lies. We allow whoever wishes to speak.
I've been calling, Mr. Mwamba, I've been calling, and if you have 50 viewers, I'm one of those viewers.
Thank you very much. Already, I have, listen, just a minute. Already, just a minute. Already on this call, I have 257 missed calls. Even when you are talking, you can hear the TT from the background. And that's why I always appeal to all of you to be brief. But of course, you never listen to me. Sometimes I have to cut you.
Those that have the views that are supporting you, are in line with your views, they have more time in this program. And I want to give you an example. We have also been participating in programs like those that are held by Chirufya Tayari. And you will see the way Chirufya Tayari will even engage with those that have divergent view. It's not about me having a divergent
My brother, give your views. You already gone into 1.5 minutes on false accusations. Give your views.
Okay, it's okay. I just wanted to tell you that you're going to be losing popularity if you just continue like that because you will not be participating.
Oh, so nganakuputula apano manishala bashani.
No, I'm done. I just wanted to inform you.
Oh, okay. No, you are welcome, my brother. This program is for anyone who wishes to communicate. I'm not in a popularity contest. I am not running for numbers. I just want to give a platform for people to air their views. And people do air their views. And I have so many people trying to call. And we give as many. But if you come here, you want to demean and destroy the program, we will not allow you. Thank you very much. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Good evening. It's Kapandula.
Yes, Mr. Kapandula.
I think the network showed me because I've just heard that Tamukutura Puava divorce. So I think when my line cut, before I could even make my submissions, I'm sorry. Yeah. But let me quickly get to why I was calling. I'm speaking to the issue regarding the Ali Banda.
Yes.
And mine now is specific to the document that you shared on your page. So you did share a receipt that shows that this car was bought by auction and paid for by Mulopa Kaunda. So, and the value was 50,000 kwacha. So what I want to bring to your attention now on the receipt is, number one, this car, according to the receipt, was paid for by check. And there's a check number that's quoted in the receipt. This payment was made in the year 2020 according to the receipt. And you would want to know that by regulation, Bank of Zambia revised the maximum amount anyone can make payment using a check, I think somewhere in the year 2017 to 25,000 kwacha. And there's only one check number that's quoted on this receipt, meaning this could have not even been a check that was issued. Number two issue is, if you look at the check number that has been quoted, the check number is 3,000, if I get it right, 3,100 and 3,000. Okay, how do I now read this? It's 300,000. Well, but it's 3000194. I am a former banker, Mwamba. For someone to get to that range of checks, even just an organization that pays salaries using check leaves, it takes years for you to reach that amount in terms of the check range. So I'm not too sure if this check was really drawn on the account of Mulopa Kaunda. The third thing I would like to bring to your attention, Mwamba, is the third thing I would like to bring to your attention regarding the same receipt is that in 2013, 2014, thereabout, Bank of Zambia also introduced the check truncation system, which suggests or which says that images of all checks that are deposited are kept. So, ngatuleta ikogweba tusheni mulopa wa pide since kana. Why don't we engage the banking system to retrieve the image of that particular check and see if really it was bought and paid for by Mulopa Kaunda? I think we could close some of these issues regarding, no, there's this document, but then the person in question, Alekana, and we know what is going on. It's because people are putting pressure on him and he needs to keep his job. There is definitely a way that we can find out whether or not the car was bought by this guy and he himself paid for it. So please just try and look around using the information I've given you, which is very accurate. I've told you.
Thank you, my dear brother. Thank you, my dear brother. I indicated on the program that we know what is happening. This transaction, as you heard, if you read even his own contradictory statement in News Diggers today, he says he was alerted that he had won a bid. He was alerted that the documents, they wanted the copy of his NRC. He was alerted. You can see knowledge about the matter he has expressed from 2020 when the transaction took place. 2020. 6 years ago. Yes, 6 years ago. Okay? That's number one. Number two, we are aware when this matter started in 2022 and the pressure that was exerted. We understand what's happening. Others are given a carrot, others are given a stick. Others were fired on the same matter, others were retained on the matter because they want to use some as witnesses. We know what is happening. I'll give you an example. On these matters, I brought out the receipt. I first brought out the receipt in September. If you've seen, there's an article running around that Mulopa intends to sue Emmanuel Mwamba. So that article is from September. So I challenged the lawyer to proceed with the legal suit. I said I have the receipt and I have the gate pass when the vehicle was collected. And I know that there was an auction of 60 vehicles. And not just 22, 60 vehicles. And I challenged the lawyers to proceed to sue me. But I like the points you've brought out. You and I are bankers. And the insights you've brought out, go and look at the document once again. And if with your permission, I'll store your number and probably we can pick up the interaction so that when I come back on Friday, we can come and discuss this matter.
Yeah, I would really be grateful that if you can take the issues I've raised. First of all, we need to understand how exceptionally his payment went through, because the maximum at the time, even now, is 25,000 by check. Number two.
But I think I disagree with you that the changes were made in 2017. I know there were checks flying around up to 100,000 kwacha. I know the amount has been 100,000 kwacha. In 20. No, I'm saying I will check your facts. I'm saying I will check your facts.
So I'm speaking from a very factual point of view. I'm telling you, if you see a check today, you can see a check of $1 million today, but all those are dummy checks. All checks that have been processed through the truncation system from the year I have mentioned, 2017, the maximum is 25,000 in local currency.
I will verify that information.
No doubt about it.
I'll verify that information.
Yes, please.
I agree with you on the principle, but on the period and threshold, I disagree with you, but I'll verify. The second item you wanted me to verify is a check number, isn't it?
Yes. The
okay, on the check number. And then the third item?
The third item.
You brought three items.
To the same issues, because the third item was. No, I was just appreciating the fact that the receipt shows that the payment was made by check, which means there should be an audit trail.
Yes.
Accountan's account somewhere should have been debited with that amount somewhere, and we should be able to see it on his account.
Yeah.
And the contra entry on the ZRI account. Then we'll be satisfied that he is just refusing because he's under pressure.
No, what I know is that he's clearly under pressure. I know he still has a job. He was moved to Ndola. I know what I'm talking about. Okay?
No, but
and I also respect that he needs to keep his job, he needs to keep his livelihood. But my caution, having dealt with all these matters, is that it's better to be punished on the truth. It's no, na Bible ila kana ukubemboni wabufi. That's my persuasion. Do not render yourself as a witness, a false witness against another. The Bible is very clear. And I saw these cases, for example, when they were persecuting Dr. Chiluba, where some of the witnesses came to seek forgiveness from Dr. Chiluba. I facilitated those appointments. No, in where people do not have a conscience and they can't sleep because of something they did wrongly. So I was just giving caution. Don't be a witness of falsehood. It haunts you beyond this government. 5 years later, it will still haunt you, and you are dealing with a man of God. Just let the truth vindicate you. I know we all need jobs. All I was appealing is stick to the truth. Let the truth, let the truth speak, not opportunities to speak.
I will tell you that we really appreciate what you bring out and what you post, some evidence that you post on your pages. We really appreciate what you do. But what may not sit very well with some of us, if you speak from speculation and not fact.
Correct.
So the receipt that you shared, I have challenged it. And you're 100% sure that this was bought by Mlopa Kaunda. And he gifted it to the bishop. The bishop who chose to remain silent when he faced the DEC officers. That's okay.
No. He didn't remain silent. It's just a minute, my brother. Let me clarify that point. I have seen paper trails from his lawyers from 2022 up to the time the matter was surrendered. When they say the bishop chose to be silent, they are just fooling our country. Of course, he did choose to be silent on that particular day. But what about the trails and discussions and statements they've had on this matter since 2022? When Nelson Banda closed, this matter was closed. The vehicle was surrendered. There was even a covering letter from the lawyer John Sangwa on this matter. So they can fool people that are not aware, but they will not fool people like us. So he might have remained silent, but if they disclose to you that they've been on this matter for the last 3 years, if they disclose to you that the Archbishop, when the matter of the vehicle came up, he willingly surrendered, are you aware of the communication and details that were done? Are you privy to the letters that were surrender by our dear brother, the lawyer John Sangwa? Are you? It's a propaganda game. It's an information game. My point on those receipts was that there is no first, I've been arguing two critical issues. Number one is that no one has established that the vehicle is stolen. No one has been prosecuted that the vehicle is stolen. The vehicle at this stage has not been established that it is stolen. Until you prosecute someone and convict someone that the vehicle is stolen, then you can proceed to the issues of proceeds of crime. And they were alleging that's a ZRA vehicle. I demonstrated with those receipts. I have not published other documents I have on this matter. For example, the correspondence between DEC and the Archbishop. I have not published those. But DEC, I can tell you. Yeah.
What would also be interesting to see there is the authority that Mulopa Kaunda gave to RTSA to transfer ownership from his name to the Archbishop's name, because all those things remain hanging. We just know that currently the car is registered in the Alec Banda's name. The person that bought it from ZRA is Mulopa Kaunda. So there should have been some form of writing from him to say, okay, I'm giving you this car as a gift. Then RTSA will change ownership. Minus that, or just with the NRC, that we know the employer can have and submit to RTSA. It doesn't need to come from Lopa. The employers have a copy of his NRC, but we would want to see the letter that he wrote authorizing the Ratsa to change ownership from his name to the bishop's name. All those things, I know you are capable of bringing that information to us. So leaving at the receipt and the gate pass, we are not comfortable. So maybe when we engage further on Friday, we can be looking at these documents and then we can see how we can move forward.
Yeah, my problem is where they are using this is using the law to punish the Archbishop. It's not interested in the facts. It's not interested in the particular issues. It's just to embarrass the Archbishop. And I've demonstrated that they've been on this matter for the last 3 years.
So I don't think that there's any punishment being given to the Archbishop.
Thank you, my brother. And thank you for the engagement. At least you brought salient facts. I like to argue from the point of facts. And I love your disposition of relying on the facts, removing the emotions. I love that. Thank you very much. A challenge to me. A caller has challenged me. And I appreciate I will pick up those matters that the caller has raised. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Mwamba
Endita.
Chilufia Kunkushi.
Mkwaiwa Chilufia.
Mwamba, the problem I have got about this issue is what I've always been saying from 2000 when I migrated to the UK. We are a people and a country that are going to leave things until the last minute. This started in 2000. Why wasn't it investigated in 2000?
2020, sorry, 2020.
2020, yeah. Why wasn't it investigated in 2020? Let's agree, Mwamba. There is corruption in my country, in our country. That is reason why I've always insisted that these wings like DEC, SEC are supposed to be independent. If they didn't investigate that time, why are they investigating now? And if they had investigated that at that time, we wouldn't have been in this situation. Now we are getting checks. Now we are getting this and that. Leave these bodies independent, and we are not going to have this complication. You are in America, Mwamba. You know how the FBI do their investigations. Sometimes it will take you 2 years, 3 years, 4 years to crack a case. So let's put it this way, and simply, the bishop was not involved. Archbishop was not involved, and I would want to leave it at that point. You can't go back to start questioning him now when you should have done it 4-5 years ago. It doesn't make sense to me.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you very much from Mkushi. I hope the farming is going on very well and you have rain.
Yes, it is raining. Thank you.
Thank you very much. God bless you. Let me take calls for the next 15 minutes. I know the issues we are discussing are emotive, but you can now call. We will close by in the next 15 minutes. Let me pick the last calls on these matters. There's an urgent matter that can we, beginning this year, resolve the issue of the late president, Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu? Can we put him to rest? Can the president, who has moved on, put his hand off this matter and allow our people to put to rest the president? I think that's a genuine call. A lot of people want us to discuss the issue of the Patriotic Front. I'll see, like I said, I am a participant in the PF and I avoid to speak to PF on any matter.
When somebody is summoned to police becomes a big issue in this country. How is it a matter? I myself, as cabinet minister, and my colleague, the Minister of Finance, Dr. Stumbeko Musokotwan, somebody accused us of something, and the police got involved. We gave statements. Some of us, like himself, myself, and another person, 3-year bank statements to show that what the other person was saying was not true. Did we call cadres? Or are we not capable of calling all of you? We love each other. You elected us because you love us, isn't it? We work for you because we love you, we care for you, we deliver. Very simple. But this is the story of today. Materera gai milimo minji njoto aberega igolo ilayagwa me itulabika mabohos. We are putting bohos, we are putting solar. Now we are saying all these things we've done, delivered, is anchored on love and care for each other. Number 4, we know that there's still work to be done. We were correcting the errors, debt restructuring, the damage in the mines, law and order.
Hello, callers. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Yes, Mwamba. This is Lisa calling from United States.
Lisa, make your contributions.
Yes, Mwamba. I would like to age, our Zambian people, our country is being led by a leader who is a troublemaker. HH is a troublemaker. Whenever he opens his mouth, it's just to bring trouble. You know, that man was not prepared, you know, to run the country. That man came for other issues, and that's why he's making trouble after trouble. The issue of the islands, Mwamba, this issue has gone all over the world. If HH wants to arrest the bishop, why can't he just go straight away and arrest the bishop than bringing the issue of the islands, Mwamba? Look at the level a leader is putting us on. You know, that president has brought our country into a very low class, bringing the issue of the islands. If I say an issue of maybe 50,000 or 100,000 watch on the board, when we are trying, you know, when people are suffering, when people are starving, but he brings this issue. Bamwamba, what type of a leader is that? A leader without a diplomacy, a leader without personality, and that's HH. Look at the way he has trained his people. You will talk to a praise singer who is holding a degree as if you are talking to a grade 1 fail. They cannot even reason what is good or what is wrong. Bamwamba, this is the leader who is leading Zambia. A leader full of confusion. HH is full of confusion. He has no point. When you open his mouth, he cannot give a point. And that's why you see the country is now developing people without any knowledge and wisdom. Bamwamba. He knows that he's losing. And that's why he starts bringing up this and this and this, because he's a loser. He has done nothing. HH has totally done nothing in Zambia. Instead of accepting that I've not done anything, is now pulling this, and bringing the issue of ILACs, which we cannot even explain to our fellow colleagues of that ILACs. What type of a leader is that one? Akainde Ichilema. What type of a leader is that one? Bamwamba, this is what I wanted to tell you. You cannot discuss anything with the president. His reasoning, I'm telling you, he has turned them into animals. They cannot reason anymore. They cannot reason anymore. And number two, I thank you for our opposition and our leaders in PF who are coming together. We are praying for God to bring unity and for them to understand each other so that we can bring up a person who can bring this Akainde down. Thank you, Mwamba. Have a good day.
Thank you very much. We are taking the last calls. We've had a wonderful program. And thank you for all those that differ with us and they were calling. We'll give them a platform. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Hello.
Yes, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Thank you very much. Let me remain anonymous.
Thank you.
For now. Greetings once more, Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba, for the great job that you're doing. God bless you.
Thank you.
Let me just pick up on two issues. The first one I want to talk about that finished vehicle by which this government is actually using to persecute the bishop. I think even when we Zambians look at things, let's look at things from their context. Had Bishop Banda not been abused by this government way before this issue was raised, would have said, no, this thing is genuine. But every Zambian understand that this issue has nothing to do with the ILACs. It is just an issue that has been used, a loophole that has been found that they want to use, even when it is very clear that the Archbishop never went to ZRA to go and steal that vehicle. That vehicle was handed to him as a gift. It is very clear, but because they have this vendetta against him, so they've decided to use this as a mechanism to do or get the Archbishop out of Lusaka because he speaks against what they they don't like what he speaks. Therefore, we Zambians, let us learn something. I heard the other gentleman that had engaged you You know, this is one of the greatest challenges that we have in Zambia. We have reached a point where people are clearly failing to stand by the truth just because they are supporting an individual. We were at a time when the former president, by the way, let me just touch this point quickly, then I'll pause. We need to get to a place where our attention should never be removed. We have a very big scandal in Zambia, and this scandal is the failure by this president to let go the barrier of ECL. This is a greatest scandal, and he's moved on holding campaigns because life is normal. He's happy with Mtinta at home. We need to make sure that this president understands that those people are hating. They've not buried their beloved husband, their beloved father, and what's more, because he's bad-hearted, he's gone on to grab a seat from an offer, and then he's talking about love. This president is very hateful. This president doesn't have a heart for Zambia. He's very divisive. He goes and stands on a podium speaking to a people as though those people don't actually reason or think. When those people are intelligent and they know what this is all about, he goes on to ponder on saying, you people, whenever you went to Lusaka at Intercity, you were beaten because you are coming from here. That is a lie. Of course, we remember very well that at Intercity, there were people, even today when you go to Intercity, you always find people that are out of control. That has nothing to do with politics as things stand. Those are lies that he continues to peddle and should not be tolerated by any well-meaning Zambian. We Zambians we have to make a decision this year. Let us show this man that he cannot divide us. Let us show this man that we are one Zambia, one nation. We cannot thrive on lies as a nation. We have dignity. We are known for who we are, a peaceful nation, a people that smiles at people. We are hosting right now in this country a people from all over, Africa, the world. Rwanda, Congolese, Burundi, they are in Zambia doing their businesses today. Why? Because we Zambians are accommodative, regardless of where you're coming from. We embrace everyone. But look at the kind of a leader that we have today, who intentionally wants to divide our country. This is uncalled for. This is not right. Finally, to the caller that had called, trying to prove a point regarding the receipts and the checks and everything. Hey, we know how governments work. When a government intends to pin you down, they have every machinery. They will do it at whatever cost. If it means forging anything, they will do it. And this is what this case is all about. I thank you, Your Excellency.
Thank you, my dear brother. Thank you for that view. Thank you.
Whatever cost, if it means forging anything.
Is it my dear brother Oliver Shalala who's calling? Let me call him. It seems to be Oliver Shalala. That's what it says. Oliver, hold on. Let me call you back. There's an incoming call. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. Uh-oh. Oliver, hold on. Let me call you on, I think I have your number somewhere. It's calling on this open line. And it says Oliver Shalala. Oliver Shalala is one of the guys I call M23 from the UPND PR machinery. I call them the M23. So Oliver is calling. So let me call him back. Let me just transfer this. Oliver, hold on. We'll give you an opportunity to speak. Let me try to call you back. So Oliver might delay our call. Oh, yeah, he's calling. Oliver, let me call you back. Let me call you back so that we don't have any interruption. So let me call him back.
sing'ombe wakabape abantu bali kumwe ati tundumwezi ati mbaba hota maningi kuhotela akaende amubaome ku intercity sunu yakaba yamwe yakakuba mulaliendera mbomuyanda intercity kunyina womuguma wamuguma ndamwanga banyina bene wabalyawe Zambia so many things although we have done there are many more things to be done tujiyagumbere kubereka not wataligo not waganka kubereko no we have just started working now.
Okay, colleagues, let me just call back Mr. Oliver Shala. I think he's been frantically trying to call us. Let me put him online. Oliver, good evening. Just introduce yourself for my audience that may not know who you are.
Yes, my name is Oliver Shalala. I'm the UPND consultant.
Thank you, my dear brother.
One of those that Emmanuel Mwamba likes to call the M23.
You are number one
Yes.
in the M23.
I don't know. I think you gave me 18, was it?
Oliver, make your contributions.
Yes, I think my contribution is predominant. I'd like to speak about the issue of the Archbishop. Personally, I've been very critical of the Archbishop, and I don't want to bring that here on this show because that is more like my private position. But I think one of the things that we are all making a mistake is to take conclusions too early. If, like you said, there are receipts, there is all this correspondence, and the Archbishop is able to show that there was no skullduggery in how he got the car, we shouldn't be worrying. For me, what worries me is that it fits into a narrative where the Archbishop seemed to be too close to the PF. He was seen with PF leaders. He was even seen with PF financiers and that kind of thing. So it breeds into that narrative that he probably went beyond just the official position to do things for his person, considering also that this car is in his personal capacity. The white book is in his name. There are also rumors about him not staying in the official residence, but staying in a very opulent house, which people are saying was built by PF leadership. So all these questions that arise, I think it would be good to let it either come to a conclusion by investigation, or it just comes clear and explains why that car was in his name. Now, no matter how we try to blame the government or ZRA that is not the one that stole and everything, the final act was by him, which is to change ownership. No one can do that except by his consent, and definitely he was involved at some point. I think that's where the issue is. He needs to show that the change of name, he was not involved, he was not aware, but then again, he was driving the car. So I think we are being too judgmental. Us who are on the side of the government and DC, and those of you guys who are against, we are being judgmental. We are trying to make it a Catholic versus UPND issue, but clearly it is at personal level. I think the bishop has been very critical of the UPND from the time he was at Ndola Archdiocese. Before it was even an archdiocese, he was there 8 years, and then he moved to Lusaka. I think he was working with Frank Walia, working with Father Augustine Mweloa. We know how critical he was of the UPND. He's never supported the UPND. He's never shared any platform with the UPND. He was not active in condemning PF when Teles Pompunda and others were, even at Bishop Chama. So for me, I feel like we are on two extreme sides. We have our reasons. You guys on the other side have got your reasons, but we are all being judgmental. I think on each side, there are valid reasons to look into this.
Oliver, let me take this opportunity. Every time there's a controversial matter, I've tried to reach, there are more people calling. I've tried to reach out to you guys. I want a balanced program, on the issue, for example, of debt and of the running of the economy. I have done a formal letter to the minister or his officials to speak. In one time, no Nkoma came, but I would rather that we engage at that level. So kindly make yourself available. This platform is available to you. Like on the issue of the Archbishop, it's something I would like you to come and we discuss these final details. Keeping away doesn't help. I invited Cornelius Mwetwa one time. I invited the Minister of Tourism. I've tried to reach out. Although Whitney and Clayson, yeah, listen. Although just a minute.
Okay.
Although you, Clayson, Whitney, and a few others, ministers, like the Minister of Water, do engage me. You provide in the comments in my posting. That's not enough. This is a very large platform, and I would like to engage you. We just engage in these facts in a proper, sober manner. So take this as an official invitation.
I've offered myself on your platform a number of times. You've just never wanted to. The last time you mentioned, I did, even in your WhatsApp, I've sent you to say, when George Mtonga was there, he actually challenged you. He even put a posting, which you commented on, where you were saying, I think it would be good to see Oliver and Emmanuel debate one day.
Okay. No, I can find time next week, but put it on record. For example,
next week, anytime, it can be next week.
On policy issues, I've invited your ministers, your spokespersons. You know, of course, I would like to engage you, and I'm glad that you are available and you have called on this program. But be amenable to this debate, that we discuss the facts. We all claim to love our country. You from the ruling side and us from the opposition. So there's a common ground, which is Zambia. So I will engage you after this program. Thank you for calling, and thank you for those views.
Good evening.
Thank you. Hello, good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Good evening. Please tell us your name and who's calling.
Okay, my name is Tandiwe Tete Singoma.
Madam, the analyst, Mkwai. Make your contribution, my sister.
Mkwai, I just want to make this contribution. Anyway, it's a comment over what Oliver Chalala said.
Yeah, thank you.
Whenever UPND Oliver Petty. But Oliver has the audacity to come and say, Alik Banda Vekala Munga, Noko Vekala, it becomes a problem for the UPND. Alik is a diocesan. He's a priest. How is that the business of the UPND? Ukui Kalaba Aliki, the people he associates with, it becomes a problem, and the church has to investigate him because he suspects he was close to people. Abamu PF. I mean, that's being petty.
Guilty by association.
You can do better. You even have the audacity to go and talk about that. You are just exposing yourselves, Oliver. We don't do that. Civility demands that you reason.
Tandiwe, Oliver seems to be reading. You know, there was a rogue statement issued by the so-called Catholics, the one that was submitted to the Vatican. You must have seen that, where these allegations were. And to the knowledge of Oliver and the UPND, is that the Vatican took up this matter, and Archbishop was investigated and cleared. In fact, when he visited the Vatican, he was even given a rare opportunity to conduct mass at very, very high level privileged. It's not privileged, the Catholic have no privileges. At very, very big churches in Berlin, if you saw it, right in Italy, and I think another European country. So to his knowledge, that letter, although written by rogue and a non-priest, so-called priest, was investigated and the Archbishop was cleared.
So the problem now, Oliver Kwebati, the Archbishop was close Kubamu PF, and he has to be investigated. You can't be that petty. You can't be that petty.
Yeah, no.
The Catholics have been there. Bampundu, but Teles from Pundu. He is there. He was there. We have videos around where he was criticizing the government of the day, the previous government. Then nobody said anything. He was your darling. He was your darling. He stood with you. He spoke with the people. Lelo bali kibabipe because he has decided to stand with the people. You hypocrites.
Thank
You
you,
are
my dear sister.
hypocrites. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear sister. Thank you for that quick response to Oliver. Our plan that Oliver should come next week. Let's give him time. Although I've sought for seniors in his party and in the ruling party to come and speak, but they have not spoken. Hello, caller. Please tell us. It's like Oliver stared the honest nest and people want to speak. Hello, caller. Tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, Mr. Mwamba.
Good evening.
Yes, Mr. Mwamba, I think we need to commend the UPND government and President Hichilema for fighting corruption at that level. It has been very, very difficult for governments to fight corruption when it comes to bishops and churches. But the UPND government has taken a step. They've gone for fighting it at even with the bishop. This issue of the bishop being summoned with the deck, and then he goes there, he stays mute, he doesn't say anything. For me, it's not surprising. It has a biblical precedent. You remember even when Jesus was asked to answer in regards if he was the king of Judah, he said, "You said so," and that was the reason why he was killed. You see, so it is not quite unusual. The duty of the bishop was to go there and just answer questions. That same formula that he tried to use led for the death of Jesus. It was a political move because he kept on saying, "I'm the king of Judah." And at that time, those guys who were in government, they just got surprised. How can we have two kings at the same time? This guy is saying he's the king of Judah, and then we already have a king. So the bishop, it will not be the first time for the government of Zambia to crucify him.
He will be crucified like Jesus Christ. Okay, my dear brother, thank you for your views. Yeah, so Archbishop will be crucified like Jesus Christ. I think he will welcome that. Who wouldn't want to die like Christ? He will welcome that analogy. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and your where you're calling us from.
No, Mwamba, it's me, Lisa, again. Just wanted to correct Oliver.
Thank you.
I think the man, is it Oliver? Okay,
Yes, Mr. Oliver Shalala is is a consultant to the UPND media.
Okay. But Mwamba, you see, when I tell you that the press singers reason like grade 1 failures. But Mwamba, when Bishop Mfundu was, supporting HH, no one was talking about it. Now there comes Oliver with his nonsense. He should withdraw that nonsense, saying that our Bishop Alec Banda is being found with the PF, he was found with the Lungu, whatever. Oliver, the bishop is not the first one to be meeting the opposition in this world. It's not in Zambia. It's been, these things happen in every country. So you cannot come here and tell us who our bishop should be meeting with. Reason well, because that issue of the ILACs is not even an issue to bring up so that we can be talking about. It's an embarrassment for a press singer. We have a lot of matters to do. Okay, we have ECL there in South Africa to bury. Let's bring up such topics and advise your leader to let it go. We bury our president. Not this rubbish of bringing that the bishop is being met by PA. What a nonsense. What a nonsense, Alec. Withdraw that nonsense. Thank you, Mr. Mwamba.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, Ambassador. It's been long since I called, so this is anonymous.
It looks like Oliver Anonymous, how are you?
I am very well, Ambassador, and it is good that you are going strong on this show, and it's good that we are able to participate. I just want to go straight to the point. It is absolutely embarrassing what the UPND are doing. Oliver Shalala is one guy that I know. He's a very intelligent guy, and I've known him for many, many years. But thinking he has portrayed is utterly embarrassing, Ambassador. And unfortunately, this is the mentality that the UPND seem to have, a petty mentality. What is wrong to start with a bishop staying in a beautiful place, for example? What is wrong with a bishop speaking for those that are vulnerable? My opinion is that this whole thing against Archbishop, Alik Banda has to do with the fact that the Lungu family, they chose Bishop Alik Banda to preside over the funeral of late former President Edgar Chagwa Lungu, and refused that Hakainde Hichilema should be involved. And that is where the envy, this is the spirit of Leviathans. This is envy. Eire bomba. So they are so upset that the Lungu family picked on Archbishop Alik Banda. And then when it comes to the negotiations between the Lungu family and the government, again, the Lungu family picked on Bishop Alik Banda, and is not the kind to be swayed easily. He stands on the truth. He stands on the simple things. The widow has a right, simple. So if the government wants to engage, they must first recognize and respect that. And it has become very difficult for the UPND government to use their maneuvers and their mingaratos to try and get the family to bend. Why? Because the family is standing with strong people like Bishop Alik Banda. And these personal attacks that are coming, showing how petty. Oliver is a guy I would have thought maybe would even share a seat together in cabinet at one point. But you thinking, boy, Oliver Mwamba, let's at some point we need to get away from being tribal and partisan and so on and so forth, and just be objective. This drama against Bishop Alik Banda, it's going to backfire. Take note, Leron Pashan, Mulembe, what happened 2 days ago, and what is going to happen either this year or sometime, at some point, you're going to remember that today against the Archbishop, I am a result Fuma. They want to reconcile with the Catholic Church. I have spoken today with some of my friends who are UPND, but they are Catholic now against UPND. And some of them are in government. Some of them are running big positions in government, and they are not happy. They want this thing to come to an end, and if it means removing UPND to make sure that there is respect for the church, they are willing to support. That's the place where you've brought the issue to. So please take note. We touch not the anointed of God. You can't Mwambi that Lucifer. He's a Lucifer. If there's a guy who forged the signature for someone, find that guy and arrest him. Do you have to go and victimize Bishop Alik Banda? This is nonsense, and it is embarrassing. And we have reduced government to some little petty envious system that must go after everybody. From the day that the UPND government came into office, they've been chasing everybody. That is how petty UPND has become. A necessity. At how did you build? Boma Nusamba is where? Over a house. Now we're talking about a house for Alik Banda. That becomes a discussion. Motoka 50,000 kwacha. But UPND, do you understand what the Catholic is? I've been in Catholic church services where in 10 minutes, 1 million is raised. In 10 minutes. So if they wanted to buy a brand new Land Cruiser worth $80,000, they would do it over a Sunday service. Baba, you Catholic, you take them 800,000, they refuse. You think they would want to steal a vehicle? Guys, grow up. Thank you, Ambassador.
Thank you, caller. Thank you very much. We have another caller. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Hello, Ambassador Mwamba. Good evening. My name is Mama Matipa, calling you from Lusaka, Zambia.
And Matipa, make your contribution, my dear sister.
Yes, I just want to add the little knowledge that I would wish to share with the Zambians. You know, in the Catholic Church, we have different orders. We have what we call as the Jesuit priests. We have the Franciscans. We have the Oblate Fathers. We have the Poor Clares. We have the Diocesans. Now, the Archbishop Alik Banda is a diocesan. And the diocesans are allowed to own property in their own names. And by saying property, which is either a house or a vehicle or whatever, they are allowed to own that. And people that are advocating and busy saying, why didn't he put that name in that vehicle in the church's name? He didn't have to. He has every permission from Rome to put that vehicle in his own name. And that is exactly what he did. So let's avoid calling him a Lucifer, because we all know who the Lucifer is in Zambia. Thank you very much, Ambassador Mwamba.
Thank you, my dear sister. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Hello, Mwamba, good evening.
Good evening.
Nameless here, Joe. Yeah, good evening. Hello, Mwamba. I don't want to comment on the Archbishop because it's quite painful. Yeah, I just want to talk about some of the praise singers. For sure, it's true. Imitwe abantu ikwati nashifulunga nakwati nashifwasa tatule tontonka nyabwino na mfyaba sambirira bengi itatule tontonka nyabwino bamwambe chwe achitira akanso nkafuyirire mwibula. You know, after hearing from what the other previous, the lady from America, mentioned, people are not even reasoning from their comments and all these kind of things, which is very true. This has just sort of like, you know, given me something that has been sitting in my heart, and I want to talk about it unless you allow me to do that.
Yes.
Yeah. Not, yes, yeah. You know, Mwamba, like I said, I don't know how I can translate it in English. Maybe the equivalence could be in English that if you are bothered by something, just get over it. It may carry a burden on you. Mwamba, I have a few remarks to make over some people who should shut their platforms as soon as they take in my concerns. I'm not shy or afraid to mention, and one of them is Simon Mwewa. Yeah, that's why I asked you. I'm not going to say anything bad about him, but if he's hearing, I hope he will get something out of what I'm going to say. But Simon Mwewa is one of is the one that I'm targeting right now. But Simon Mwewa, please close your platform, because you have no credible information which can feed most of the listeners. Allow me to say you are just full of yourself. Imwe ba Simon mulatumfya abantu sana. Why so? Bantu imwe tamwaishwa ukuti yali ba important sana kuli fwe bantu. Mwalitemwa ukulanda ekisungu kya kukontolola abantu. Nobaba Simon lekeni mwe. If you were a real Zambian born, you would not dare to mock Abantuko, with their own language. If you thought you were a king and master of that borrowed language you acquired with a memorized, counted vocabulary, then you should have built up a language school which could have at least maybe taught people how to speak better English. And you yourself, Simon Mwewa, could have trained teachers to teach people. Mulamoking asana abantu nga mwaisa pa platform yenu. Muchibe mbatwe wokwebati. Na bashitira Simon efo tulanda mu Kibemba ero nga mwaya mu Kisungu yali kwata na DNA na lyako noti umuntu alande ekintu mwalamwe balelanda tira Ikisungu chocho mwana tola kwa Amerika wa Simon mwale keni elo mulelanda ekintu kitungutulu ifi amano nga muli pa platform muli bakulu efo na chira for kulanda basaga.
Thank you very much. Oliver wants a right to reply. He says Curtis Ngoma and Anonymous have attacked him personally and he wants to respond. So hold on, Oliver will be responding, but let me take the calls that are waiting. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Ambassador Mwamba, my name is Mr. Imonze from Choma.
My dear brother from Choma, make your contributions.
Mkwaiba Mwamba, ndifo kulanda kufena ine peria shiyaba shkofa wa shepherd His Grace Dr. Arik Banda. In the first place, I want to appreciate the Bishop of Soresi Diocese, Bishop Kasonde, the Bishop of Umpika, Bishop Edwin Mwansamulando, for escorting our Lord Bishop, our shepherd, to DEC. To start with, Mwamba Wesu. Ngafefina abantu bale Bishop webokutira ati kushenomba bashikofolo babatulire iri amotoka chinchita babikire mu kina lya chechi okurunda pofi amashu ya kiranda ba matipa webokutira ati mukatolika nangula mu eklesia katolika twalikwata maorder za pisana twalikwata ba mishoni na ba diocesan, the religious and the diocesans. Ba diocesans tabapanga ama vows ya poverty. The lower religious parapanga ama vows ya poverty. And about to talk about tirati, about party bachikaya, the local diocesan priest. They are allowed to akwata personal vehicle to akulenga ndangole fire. So Bari Kibanda, Bafuma Muruporama Diocesan is a secular priest. Before Tawarabashkov is a secular priest. So na chiri ngokobati tibabika ile moto ngabadi batulire babika missionary yabo ero futi ba Mwamba Wesu chabulanda sana ukumona ba UPN kwebo kutilati balele mbala amakala takuromo kwebati yo tufunye ba Harikibanda egereje katolika atefu abomba twali umforo twalishwo kwebo kutilati kuri bashikofu bamu abalepo kenda rama kuri ba UPN but a brown envelope. But Mwamba Wesu will not be ashamed to say that the Bishop of Undora Diocese, Bishop Benjamin Piri, is a well-known UPND cadre. But a pocket that I'm a Emmanuel Mwamba, Elisha Matambo, the Copper Belt Minister. But Avantu Barikalazi. Bashkofu ba Benjamin Piri Kundora, Babsana Navapati every day. Umpati wafuwa kwa chalandile ko mula abalanda abantu bale tumika nishibana mwe batyo opole bombera ala kupokana nguna kuchesa suspend ubupatiri ubupatiri bamuchitawo dendu kwa bakutati aleranjira kwa abantu ukuyimirira kwa abantu ukulanjira kwa abantu bale tumika bantu mupatiri wishiwa abantu amafya bale pitamu bashikofu bali Kibanda Lero bambo kulanda. Kale bambo kulanda. Chinshi chabipa kwebo kutirati. Lero bashikofu bayimirira kwa balanda. Bayupi ndi bambo kubeta tuno ni ba opposition. Yo ni ba PF. Na tuwabwera kunu mokuba Mwamba Wesu. Twarumweno ko bashikofu emeritus ba transport impond. Aleranjira kwa bantu. Bale landa bale kansho kwa batu ba PF na mufilo fimule chitatifi bifisuma tapadwa bete kwa nwa UPNT card because twalishiwe isonde lyonse lyalishiwe kwa kutirati bale landira kwa abantu and epo na ekereja katolika ayimini kunu wakutwali kwete ba Bishop Paul Duffy Dennis Didion bonza abantu bale bonza bashikofu ba mkatolika bale landira kwa abantu tapadwa iminishepo kubatuka amasere tapadi uli wonse wa imishepo ukweba okutirati yo basapota ba UNIP yo basapota ba MMD yo basapota na muba PF twali bachindike ngorukuta iyo ina relax balela ndati yo omuntu ali kwena nangu tapasoswa ekereja katolika no mpati wa pero mpati lero mairo ekereja labula mpera na Hilux yanyu nero mwingaranda tibashikofu bengeba Hilux abapatiri nga waende mpanga yonse muno mu Zambia besha ama Hilux ali awombera mu difficult missions eno shikofu umuntu upera abana bakwe ama Hilux kwa batakubombera mu ebishe mbira nsuma ebe ekereja katolika na ngwalire government bana tuwesheni Hilux mwalanda chituba bashitire yanyu. Issue yaba ali kibanda is political. And therefore, balefwaya chakubati ili tuingire we are going toward elections. Bashivo shikofu belalanda. Nomba ekereja therefore kulanda fe ba UPND a failed government nabaka inde ichire. You will not manage to silence ekereja katolika. Ba Mwamba wesu na Tasha kwa na Perera.
Thank you very much. For Oliver, if he's listening, I'm trying to call, or you also can call back on the same number that I just reached out. I'm trying to call before I close the program. You've asked for a right to reply, and I'm giving you the right to reply, but you're no longer answering. But call me if you still wish to contribute before I close the program. We've been on for the last 3 hours, and our people still want to talk. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Thank you. My name is Gabriel. I'm actually calling you from Lusaka, Zambia.
My dear brother, make your contributions.
Thank you very much. I wanted to respond quickly to the gentleman that had called you earlier on that was talking about an issue of, this government fighting corruption, trying to target even people that are actually like Bishop Banda, as he put it. That's hypocrisy. That's the biggest problem that I have with praise sinners. There have been a lot of cases that have been cited, even in the FIC report, about high-profile individuals in this government, ministers, permanent secretaries, that have stolen. But none of them has been prosecuted. None of them has been prosecuted. This issue of Valik Banda is highly political. We know what this means. We know why it has been heightened in the year 2026. They know their positioning with the Catholic Church is not good. So what do? They have to target those people that are influential. Unfortunately, Valik Banda is and it's become a target. We know what this is all about. This has nothing to do with corruption. It has nothing to do with integrity. It has nothing to do with the rule of law, but everything to do with the political maneuver, because they know that the fact that they started this war with the Catholic Church, they are at a disadvantage. So they're trying to get those people that are so influential to be silent. That is the whole agenda. So when he speaks about, no, this government is fighting corruption, no, they are not fighting corruption. If they were fighting corruption, would have known where Sujilite is today, would have known where Mukula trees disappeared to from the police today, would have known where the copper, the gold, that was found at the airport, and the plane that was actually forfeited to the state, would have seen all these things. So there is nothing. You can only, lie to those people who are gullible. But we Zambians are seeing with our eyes are wide open. We know what this is all about. It is nothing, and this government is not serious and will never fight corruption, but they only do what benefits them. Otherwise, it's a waste of time even to talk about them as a government that is trying to fight corruption. No, they are not. I thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me bring in Oliver. He says he has a right to reply, and he wants to make his contribution. Oliver, I'm glad that you were listening, and you heard to about 4 callers that have already you've enlisted a response to. Just respond to those issues.
Yeah, I think just the last 4 callers explained to you, Emmanuel, why you are struggling to get people from the other side to even come on your platform. I think you need a bit more editorial control to manage the emotions. When people are calling, the insults, they're not necessary. Like I said, I declared interest. When I started, I said personally, I've been very critical. of the Archbishop, but I did not proceed to be that critical. And I did not also become critical of either the PF or members of the PF. But you can just listen to the language, the insults that have come both in the comments as well as
no, I don't think they've insulted you. Emotional, yes, but the language, I do stop if the language becomes personal. Of course, there was emotions.
No,
one said they know you very well. They think you are being partisan. Huh?
2 callers in a row said, "Oh, I'm saying is rubbish. I'm rubbish." You are saying it's not an insult?
No. I might struggle with that. But what I'm saying is, when the debate degenerates, when the debate degenerates, I do control. I should put that very clearly.
But I'm just giving you an opinion to say, if you really want people from the other side to be patronizing your platform, not to ignore it, there has to be a bit of that control. I think we need to manage our emotions.
Thank you.
It should not be about insulting Oliver. I saw all those comments. I'm not bothered because I believe when people don't like you, they will accuse you of raising dust even when it's raining. So it's neither here nor there. But what I wanted to respond to is, I said, one, firstly, I think you mentioned that I read an article about something written to the Vatican, and that's where I was basing that statement. No, that's not correct. I thought I should make that as a fact. I've never read any article about the UPND writing to the Vatican, and I can tell you straight, I'm senior enough to know that there's no correspondence between Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Vatican. If you have any
Oliver, just a minute. Let me clarify. Now, I referred to a letter written by so-called priests from Lusaka that was written to the Vatican and was extensively published, the allegations by your media. That's number one.
Yes,
number two,
the
the complaint against the Archbishop of Lusaka. I will refer you to the letter that was written by John Sangwa and Sishua in December 2024, where they challenged the president in an open letter and condemned the president's demand that the Archbishop of Lusaka must be removed. So there is even that letter that was written by John Sangwa and Sishua challenging the president, and they were quoting the Apostolic Nuncio.
Okay, and you are saying the president wrote a letter from State House or Foreign Affairs?
No, the president. The president.
There's no such letter.
The president met the Apostolic Nuncio with his delegation. No, it's not speculation. Just a minute. Just a minute, Oliver. I want you to.
Am I going to respond?
Yes, because I want to put the facts so that you respond to the facts. Then I'm referring you. I'm referring you to a letter. I'm referring you to a letter by John Sangwa and Sishua.
Yeah, but I'm saying I was not speaking from that letter. I've never seen it.
Okay. Make your point.
So I've never seen that letter, and I'm telling you to say I'm senior enough in the system to know that there's no letter written by Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I can tell you that officially. Neither is there a letter written by State House to Vatican or even the local embassy of the Vatican City. That has never happened. So there's been a lot of talk about that. It has never happened. There's no one who has written to ask for Bishop Banda to be Dr. Banda to be investigated or removed. So that is just neither here nor there. Those insults, I think it's fine. It's water off my back. I don't have a problem. I understand the pain that most of the people feel, especially if they see me coming on your platform, and because they feel that's their platform, we're not supposed to be here. But I think at some point, like I said, we need to be a little bit less emotional. We get to listen to each other. We don't have to agree. So there are so many things said, like, for example, that, the Archbishop has got the right to associate. Yes, he has got the right to, but my point was that it's the perception that comes from those against. So perception is always what leads to people say what they are saying. So even that issue of saying, no, the UPND will have repercussions over that, again, it's a perception. Even when the truth is that 2021 Archbishop Banda wasn't with UPND. UPND still won. So there's nothing which has changed. You can't lose what you never had. So 2021 August will come. We still have a number of Catholics vote for us. We still have those voting against us. It will depend on what we deliver. So the emotions, the insult, it's not necessary. So if you want balanced discussions, people from our side, we have to tone down on that insults. For me, I can stand that. I'll be here next week or anytime you want me. I can be insulted, I'll still be able to speak.
Thank you for that insight. What are your last remarks, Oliver?
No, for me, I just want to say, I've always said, there's no systematic enmity between the UPND and the Catholic Church. Much as people want to make it, it's not there. This particular case is about one bishop. For example, if you were to go for critical bishops or fathers, I think Father Augustine Mwamba of Shongola would have been on the list because he's been the most critical, actually. From the time he went to Ndola to the time he left in 2021 to go to Shongola, he's been the most critical. So he would have been on that list if there was a page. This issue about why now, it's been ongoing. The truth is that it's an ongoing case. Yes, the Catholic Church has the money, they could have bought him a car and everything, but he still chose to have it in his presence. So at least he can just explain, he moves, everybody's free, and we forget. Insulting each other, no. I don't think that's the right way to go. We'll still need each other. I know UPND will win. I'll still be here to come after election. We'll talk.
Thank you, Oliver. That's Oliver Shalala. And I'd like to assure you that we moderate language here. We might allow the emotions, but language and insults we do not allow. Thank you, Oliver. Thank you for your contribution. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Hello, Mr. Mwamba. This is from Livingston.
You were also to Mofe Palasti when I'm about to close. Landenipo. Landenipo, Endeshen.
I think looking at what's happening to Dr. Eric Banda and then the fact no UPND. In his first call. It's like they have already concluded and decided the outcome. And then Bishop Pedakamulandu, Nabishwani figure in the Diashi, Nabishwani figure Afuma. That is what he has shown from his explanation. And the other thing is that I mean, UPND, our to support if you would take over towards the church. Most of those never covered Pama salaries. So they are not talking from the point of truth. They are always talking to please their paymaster. We were talking about earlier in the program. Mwachanda pali umurumendo wa pere wa Bandara and Keremotoka. The way he has come out, it is clearly showing that he is trying to save his job. So number, and this is the case of what, and this is something this is something dangerous that the UPND must see, because abale konka wa UPND pali number. Iba abale fa ko furupia kuri wa UPND. Not abale konka no, not abale. Not whatever the so many shy if it's UPND, no. But whatever the fuck will pay UPND. That's why in people like Chufatari. Chufatari, Kwaya Kuleta Bomba, Tari Party Mwamba, Kuko America, my sang in Chumala Bomba. You are doing other businesses. In short, the newspaper in here, I'm book for my patrol. But Chufatari, Abaku Muma overseas, for him to survive. At least if we have upon Telako, either Rupara Rungu or Support and can overfuel Pera UPND. So even having machine and that was Simon Moa, then never more. And Simon Moa. But I want somebody Monica by paycheck. Nangu in a children. Tokuta. I saw he did a very stupid post against you. All those very stuff here because very salaries. They are not talking because they want to say what they are saying. And this is a problem that the UPN has brought to the country. They have made the people so desperate that for people to survive, they have to support certain stupidity coming from them. And I think Ababa support the UPN because of money. They must know that Baumi very integrity. Where is their integrity by UPN? Where is your integrity? Because you know for sure that what is happening on the bishop, that matter is political. Because the facts are there. There was a closure letter from John Sango. It's there, it's clear. But can someone start coming and supporting Nangobare Kanyo Kulan that nonsense? Then I start with a drop.
Thank you, Amwewa. Again, let me take the other last callers. There are a lot of calls already waiting. Oliver Kolomo Nenkala Molekeni tu. Thank you. Bena bale salulai. Oliver waumfwa. Thank you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, Ambassador.
Good evening.
You're speaking to Blaze Zambia.
Oh, Blaze, my dear brother, my dear young brother, proud of you. Landapo Muntwandi.
Thank you so much, Ambassador. I'm really, really humbled to participate on this program.
Thank you.
To start with, I would like to applaud the church for the job well done, and the people of Zambia for standing up for the Archbishop. And this is exactly what we need to be to continue doing. Ambassador Funala Fokulanda Nala Padiba Kateka Nifi. Waka Inde Chema is the president of a small group, like I call him. Because if he was a president for the nation, he was going to embrace everyone. Looking at Amasala Mushiba kwa Kateka. Amasala Mushiabo, Nayalengo Kwati Chalo Chemarka kwa Nachpatukana. Komlandu kwa Tinatumona, Mitundu, people are speaking bad about other tribes. And when it comes to Christianity, Nayana Nayambok Wilela Panshi, that will embrace Christ. Abantu n'abatemwisho olupya bale kwatta okwebati nga bayafe kuli bale santikapo HH than lesser. Ba ambassador Funala Fokulanda nifi area shiyaba Archbishop baaka inde ichilema okubalole shafye pamonga Kateka wa chano. He did not come to lead this nation okubika abekala chalo pamo. Efona alalanda ni finga mwalole shakunu moko pamfo yaba former Kateka ba Edgar Chagwalumu. Mulole shabantu abafwa opo regime ya ishila power. But tutwangulube bali tushile. He was very healthy. Mysteriously, the man died. Up to Lelwabantu Tabaishi. But if you remember, the president went to Kawe and he had stated his own words that I'm going to use today. He said, do you remember the time to more opposition? Nala bonfia mashuba bonfisho bakateka by HH. Tuale ponoka. Nomba apana mumona. Tuale pono kwa kulibe na tutu angulube. Apana mumona. Fintu filifie wino. Kulizi. The statement that the president made, he was celebrating the death of a human being who is batutu angulube. Mwebe na Zambia nga mwalole shapali uyumulando. Don't you think something is fishy? Tuai matualu pepa. Sorry, Ambassador, I don't know if I can be allowed to at least maybe in 3 minutes. Ambassador, you there?
Yeah, we're there. Yeah.
Twisa tuloleshe pamfo ya by Edith Nawakwi. Edith Nawakwi was a outspoken lady who knew the background of Hakainde Hichilema. We heard from our fathers to say that man had privatized a lot of companies of this country. And Vanawakwi, if you remember, Vanawakwi worked hand in hand with this man during MMD. Bale Wombela Chapamo. She was in a different institution. He was in a different institution. He knew secrets that no one knew. Well, where is Vanawakwi? She's no more. Tuwaye matwalu pepa ba ambassador nchini foku posa akashita. Ba Edi Galungu. Ba Edi Galungu info bafwa. It's also something that Zambian people need to look into. Temfwe shisha kwebati muntu fie afwa fie a normal death from my own view. Baaka inde ichiremolo baisa mpawa nga mwalolesha abantu obu bakaka. Those people that were really affiliated na ba Edi Galungu, all of them, most of them, they are in prison. They wanted ba Edi Galungu kushala beka so that filafine baba chitile mingala to yakubakanyo kuya kuchipatala. Have you ever asked yourselves, you Zambians, who is responsible for the death of the Edi Galungu? The government cannot tell me to say they are not responsible. They are responsible because they blocked the former head of state from going to the hospital. Parikanoka bale bomfyama salamush na isa kuliba Archbishop Alik Banda. Ba Alik Banda ukubatwala for questioning, ukubapelo mlandu yo babapele. It's something that is visible, that you are able to see. Ba Alik Banda, the reason why Hakainde Hichilema bako selele gamala monen tungulu shonse shari close na balungu. Ba Alik Banda ne Katolika, they have been there for the people of Zambia. They speak for the people. They help the government in place. Ukubafuirisha if you abantu bale pitamo because they live with society. Hakainde Hichilema is doing revenge because Alik Banda was a man who bale umfwana na ba former head of state. Temula nduwa bishop ukwebati ba Edi Galungu basalilepo ukulaya mukusenda wisdom kuli bali batata. Temula nduwa yo. So opwe minini Hakainde Hichilema, if you remember, the family of the former Republican president, Dr. Edgar Chagwa had requested to say, let Dr. Alik Banda come, ebo bese basta preside pachirilo chabatemu ikwababo. Enjtoya ba bishop, enjtoya ba bashkofu. So Hakainde fidafine ali fulilwe. Chinsha Alik Banda enga chitile cha musango. So it's all about revenge. Apa ambassador tapali nefi akwewa chan. This president wants to divide and rule. Catholic vaivele, ba STA na bo vaivele. Umutundu yu uivele, no yu mutundu uivele. So that is got a happen. And if you have been listening to him, he's always saying, ifobari tupata. Ukoni kumutundu naikata. Ifobari tupata. Just because in an afialo kuso in bari impata. He's trying to put that software in people from the other side to say, if because we are born this side, we are not loved. So the cancer here, ambassador, is not the people of Zambia. It's not Mitundu. We have lived in harmony for so long. Our beloved forefathers, they left this country the way it was. We have been staying peacefully. drinking together, eating together on the same plate. It doesn't matter which tribe you belong to. But the cancer is the problem, is dividing us little by little. And the mechanism that he's using, if you, Ambassador, if you look at what Tanzania did, the president of Tanzania, these are counterparts with Hakainde Hichilema. They are doing the similar Mingalato, jailing of opposition leaders. The similar. So where we are, Zambian people, let's open our eyes and look into this matter. Enough is enough. Believe me, if it doesn't affect you, trust me, we need to act fast. Ambassador, I don't want to thank you so much.
When we co-host, so when we call, we are privileged that you've called. Thank you very much, Blaze Zambia. Thank you. Let me take just 2 more last calls. Guys, we have to close. I know the numbers are now rising and people are calling, but we have to close. Hello, Bakola. Hello, Bakola. Bamunkonge mwalala? O bamunkonge walala? Asukeni.
Baine kwende kwa kulanda balanda okwebacha bakwakana okunga tapabensoni ro kintu kimwe kyamufere mwayishiba kyakwebati omuntu nse bali ino ishamuzambia yore isura abantu pamenso ali murwanyi kubuteko bulipo tabulefuayo omuntu ule isura abantu pamenso because obubuteko tabusumina okuruba. So na ngapapeni kwa ile platform ba Mwamba imwe Mwamba tamukusene na ba bishop mwe Mwamba bali songe kile yako michitira mu attack nomba bali filwa ilana ene nshira bali chitira mu attack ba bishop ni nshire ya ibera na bambiko abale babena Zambia kwe bati bafimbuke pamenso na bena na bakwatire nshira shako bashitati step pakwe bati besara kura bena Zambia. So na nguri pali ine platform ba Mwamba ufuremu abasana very much careful. Bambia abantu bali besa mukutalika pakufurunganya okwebati mwitunguru tofe mulingiro okweba abantu besuke baraisa barete pofechi mfurunganya bena abantu beba nokutalika mu mapasi. So pali platform ba Mwamba nshitana ichepa taparefa ko kurachitawe okamwa abantu abakusafe mugisi kutalika abakana na road shedding ya 4 years tapale foto ingatali kana nabo pali ino nshita nipakura nshanya tumone foto ingarubuka chisuma bamwa.
Thank you very much. My dear brother, Father Oscar Mwansapombo from Italy has been waiting for a long time. I wish to apologize bakalamba mafoni yachifula landeni po.
I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good evening, Mwamba. Thank you for your program. I've been listening, following on the background, also for many people who are participating. Nastafa Fukulanda, having Yabantu Navalanda Pukalina Pama phone calls, Varanda Pokwena. I just wanted to talk about 2 things. I know one of it, Tamachita presented in the Mwamba platform, the purported letter, everybody ran that they have run or they have sent some information or some requests to the Vatican that Bishop Banda should be removed from Lusaka. That's one. Then the second one, which I wanted to talk about, is the meaning of their walk to deck and the meaning of that walk and the silence that the bishop portrayed before the deck. That's what I wanted to mention. So let me start with the second one. It is now on record. Dear brothers and sisters, that a bishop of the capital city in Lusaka was summoned to go and exculpate himself regarding a purported gift. So this is not the first time that the clergy can be given gifts. I personally, my first vehicle which I had in Italy was given to me by a businessman called Lamberto Piggini, the one who is the owner of Technostamp or Eco. Eco is a company that makes my guitars. EKO.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Now, the owner of that company, the one who was making that company was my parishioner. His name is Lamberto Piggini, in a town called Recanati. So Lamberto Piggini is the owner. He was with a brother. They were brothers who began that company. They were manufacturing the guitars called EKO, Echo. And they were having another company called Technostamp, which were publicizing ama papers. Ngefini mwakwata EM8 Mwamba Verified. Yeah, you know, the one who are printing those papers is one of the Sonomba. The first vehicle I had here in Italy was given to me by this president of ECO, who was called Lamberto Piggini. Nga mwasa Google pa internet, mwala sanga fionse twende miewa, mwala fisanga fionse. And my first vehicle was an Y10. That's an Italian vehicle. Akanonuka motoka so beautifully ekalika vest. I was given free of charge. No payments given and things like that. Then, twice that Papa Pope Francis was given a Lamborghini, a Ferrari, and a Lamborghini. To give to the pontiff a vehicle, it's an honor for the person who is giving out the vehicle. It's not an honor for the Holy Father who receives vehicles, because the Holy Father Mwamba, the Pope, receives a lot of gifts. A lot of them.
No, we can hear. We can hear you.
The Holy Father receives a lot of gifts. Not only the Holy Father, Bishop Banda. We win a Bishop Banda Mwamba in enough Makundola diocese. He was my bishop. Let me testify on this platform lelo. Imawena Zambia umfien. Uwan tumine kuno Italy. New win a Bishop Banda when he was a bishop in Ndola diocese. Kavia in Pandola diocese, kamune nama offices up pango ishkofu, which are worthy millions and millions of kwacha. Aba mpere na contributions vanankwe. Bishop Banda studied in Germany. Va UPND mwe tusevanya. Ala tuwa papata. Muisevanya Zambia. Tuwalikwata abantu abapokerera ama gifts from countries. Yalaye nama gifts omule munati baaka indechile babapela 1 million, babapela shingoko, babapela ka contract. Yalaye nama gifts yalia. Ala na abantu bambi balabapela. Pamfwe. Tekweba fiati yo bakateka besuno babachinja nempia bachinja na mposa mabwe pandarama bamufunyapo. Pantu tabale fwaya ati kube nomba memory abena Zambia bale yibukisha mposa mawati ni bakaunda baliko yo na ya mufunyepo funyenipo bikenipo fenomba fie ifintu fiandi epela takwabe fie charo takwabe charo ichinga chita develop nga mwasta kanso history so ili ashiryaba Banda umfweni mwe bakatolika tabakwete n'omwenso amapange nga yali ati tyentuka kefe banda pantu banda ewa alalanda nomba n'abalungu banda ewulesa defend nomba balungu ku South Africa amapange nayambi na thimbi po ayange amapange umfwenefo cha mwalaka kabanda bonse tukesa kuno tukesa mukumutwalira ama oringi yarao balanda ku ngumbo ati ama oringi na ngula ama chungwa tukalatwala kulya ku prison na bapapa ku Zambia bakesa bakatwala amachungwa ku prison yoko mukaka ko mwana wakwe pantu Bishop Banda mwana wakwa Poplioni mulefwaya na mutamulefwaya isha last yo atina abatumaleto kwe bati babanda bafunye mufye mu Lusaka ba UPND. I'm appealing to you, my friends. You are not my enemies. I don't have enemies myself. I'm appealing to you and I want to tell you the truth. If you're Katolika bomba, if you're my governments bomba. Katolika akwata kachalo kubeta ti Vatican. Kakwata ma identities yabiti. Nika capital si tiero chalo at the same time. City of the Vatican, it's a city, but it's a nation at the same time. Akano no fear, akachalo akano, tapaba munuchalo. Country are more powerful than Karakachalo akano. Mwebena Zambia umfwe fusion demieva, muteshie kofie. Na weke sharp. Takwabe chalo muzami mu Africa na muwewot yonsi takwabe chalo cha kwatamaka ya kwatakalake nika town elio kabili chalo pamukumo wene pantu kalaka chalo ka City of the Vatican katungulula abantu 1.3 billion people umfwe wino mwebena Zambi kalaka City of the Vatican katungulula abantu. It governs the people who are equivalent to 1.3 billion people in the whole world. Baba chirako fyaba chirako fefoni ba India ba Mwamba ba India bakwete kwati 1.4 eba tuchirire kofi ba China bakwete 1.2 billion twali bachira no kubachira. So kalaka charo kalake ni akanono. The City of the Vatican rules the whole world with over 1.3 billion people. So nomba umwana wabo nga bamutitikisha kasashane kala kachalo kesa tumukutandara n'amachungwa kakaleta n'amaoringi kakaleta echo abantu balepusha ko nicho to tudefa afyo kumiba kumubera Zambia nichi uyu musevanya chinshi mwala uletela pachalo chesu cha Zambia mwalishi wofo twa mubena Zambia twa bashani ngechinkupiti twa bafye 22 million mwe bantu 22 million eyo mwaya mukuruishia akachalo ka Vatican akalulinga over 1.3 billion people in the whole world. Uli na matu ya kumfwa na omfwe na totela wa mombe.
Mquite, thank you very much. I've got another caller waiting. Thank you very much. Hello, caller. That was Mwansa Pombo from Italy. Caller, make your contribution and you'll be our last contributor.
Okay, and Ambassador Mwamba, Sinyangwe Danny again. Ambassador Mwamba, I'll support you. I've followed you almost like 2 years. You are a very person who's moderate. You will never allow someone to come on this platform to insult other people. Whether you are PF, you always put it a stop to say, no, my brother, my sister, let's not go that way. So for me, I'll just say this. You're a senior member of UPND. Don't come with your arrogance and try to paint this platform to be a PF platform. This is not a PF platform. This is a platform for all Zambians. This is a platform for the Zambians that are not happy with what is happening. And we cannot all pretend and praise you like you always want you to be praised, like a government that has done everything that the people of Zambia are happy with. You can't come to this platform and try to paint like the Ambassador Mwamba is not a person who is not an educated person and doesn't know what he's doing. Come on, people. Your arrogance is from Wachilanda. No, we are winning. No, you are not winning if you have not fulfilled your promises. Zambia is much bigger than the people of Zambia will decide whether you go back or not. Thank you, Ambassador Mwamba. God bless you.
Thank you for that defense, my dear brother. Thank you very much. Mwantu Akwalesa, it's time to close the program. God bless you. We'll see you on Friday. Oliver Shalala, thank you for calling and encourage your team to participate and feature on this program. God bless you and shalom, shalom.
Errors, debt restructuring, the damage in the mines, law and order. Twali wambulaji mwalunga mujoma mwakwela basi weyakulusaga intercity guseruka buyombo oserukira ate basi awakujoma ate vimenye nivi bachoka kuchoma iti vimenye nivi ati tundu mwezi singombe wakabape abantu bali kumwe ati tundu mwezi ati mbaba hota maningi kuhotela akaende amuba ome ku intercity sunu yakaba yamwe yakakuba mulaliendela mbomu yanda intercity kunyina umuguma wamuguma ndamwanga banyina bene wabalyawe Zambia, so many things. Although we have done, there are many more things to be done. Tujiyagumbere kuberega. Not waptarigo, not waganka kuberego. We have just started working now. We have just started. There's a lot more work to be done. Nyambose Ulia, Kujasef, he needs more schools, more classrooms, more desks, more teachers. Work to be done. Mungandulia, he needs more bohos in Chama South.
The last question. Fuma, State House is not telling us the truth. They must come clean on Mr. Sata's illness. I think something like that. That's what you say. You know, Fuma, I don't want to say much on this. All I want to advise those who advise Mr. Sata is that if the president is not well, please tell the nation so that the nation can pray for him. Yes. Don't hide. If your guide is unwell, please, my friends here, tell the nation that the guide is not well. The nation will pray for us. I don't know why there's a thick cloud around this issue. To be sick is normal. It is God's way. So that's all I can advise the people that handle Mr. Sata. There's so much speculation that from London is just to hide. He's actually going to India. That's the speculation, that is going to India for medical treatment. If that's the case, tell all of us and we wish him a quick recovery. Last time I said in a press briefing inside here that I pray to God of Abraham, God of Jacob, God of Isaac, to keep Mr. Sata.
We have a crisis in this country. Ifinga mwana kutotora letu mungu afeta mwaka kwe. Lelo bwase miyewa ile shara panopeni. Point tekeni. Ekeza tafia lelero. Zambia is 64 years. Ratio ya Zambia. Ukisabika kuli ekleja. Ni 1 to 1,000. Kama mwipa ika wampurikisho mwengo wa kulekelesha.
And no one will take away that. They may have their own weaknesses and whatever failures, but they brought that and we are happy about it. We don't want to go back to one party. There came the PF. They brought patriotism. It's in their name. Patriotic Front. Patriotism. That desire for you to have the love for your nation and support things that have to do with your nation. If they missed out, it's their own fault. But they are a group of people who are patriotic. If you knew Michael Sata, I'm sure you know about that. You know about that. Very patriotic. Here we are now with UPND. What shall we remember you for? Remember, governments come and go. Very soon, you will also be in history. And people will be reading the records of your time. What will people remember you for? Before you beat about everywhere, go back to your name. Your giant is in your name. Unity and national development. And national development is so broad. Unity is also so broad. Dig into that and ensure by the time you are leaving the stage, we can point at national developmental features, things that you will have left for the nation, not for your pockets, not for individuals, but for your nation. We have heard stories of politicians who hide their wealth even outside the country. Please, your passion must be for this country. If you have amassed a lot of money, build infrastructure here. Don't go to Dubai and build there. We have heard of politicians who have done that. But UPND, yours is national development. Put up things that will be monumental for future generations. Let me end by saying, from you, our leaders, we need honesty and confidence. We need that. We are right now facing a crisis. Don't pretend it's not there. The crisis is real, very much real. My constituency extends into Luano Valley, bordering with Eastern Province. I go there. You have heard about Luano Valley? There is even Luano District now. All those rural places. My constituency extends into where Lufwanyama ends and borders with Kasempa and Solwezi. I have been there. When I say the situation, the crisis we are facing is real, I mean just that. There will be hunger. And that's your giant, Mr. President. That's your giant, honorable ministers. And you know what crises do? They have a way of interrupting the flow of development. There are some things you outlined to do this year, but a number of them will have to be shelved in order for you to face this Goliath. This defiant Goliath, and I'm sure you know that hungry people are angry people. That's what easily creates chaos in the nation. And enemies of development want to ride on that chaos in order to gain mileage. You are aware of those politics. But if you can stand and say, we are facing this giant, and you say, henceforth, Zambia will never depend on rain again in order to feed ourselves. That calls for national features that will solve the problem of being rain dependent. And that takes you to the villages now. What infrastructure can we put in place? What can we bring as a nation in order to develop together, not as individuals, because we are for national development. So we need honesty from you. Don't overstate the problem. At the same time, don't underestimate it. But the reality is, it's there. It's there. Let's face it, because this is our giant. When you mismanage chaos, innocent people may lose their lives. Chaos that arises out of the confusion of a crisis need to be managed very well. And I'm sure as our leaders, you know how to do that. I'm here to simply remind you that on the ground there, people need to eat.
Amitapendwa ya vintu ifisumbe vyote kula kuivukisha Kana depotimo Wimbo wa temenu wa katongi Awazunga watita katongi na kula kuivukisha kateka Aibuku muna kapona Neseko siove pameso Yangu ama umebaya Iyaba ume Iyaba ume Kateka wa wantu Twakulila, lelo twakulila Shika kukonke milimo shove Ale filamba Yena minta pengo shile Eti kume mopu londolo la vale Lilo mwingi
Iseko wengi mwakwete Iseko wengi mwakwete Mwaya mwende wino tata wesu
Katusi muchi wakege Wali bomba kale Lomba mwatuja tuleli lake Mungana chiba
Benda Mpanga mwine Oya mwine Ide dalila
Yangu ya mama ume Ala nacho mwavye Mama Ukula befyo watito bwingi Ibisebo wapangiri obwingi Ukuchinjo lusako kumoneko busaka Mama Utituwa na basiyani Chakwa katuse